Live from New York and Vermont and Florida, it's Coffee with Lavender. Good day, everyone. Hello. How are you? Yeah, here we are in all our glory. No need to stand. Just throw money, tens, 20s, 50s, please. Oh man.
I'm a fan of Benjamin Franklin.
I am Lavender Lady, Diana Clarion, and with me is my Lavender co-pilot, the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. Hello, my love. How are you today?
I'm doing well enough, I suppose. I think I figured out why I was so listless yesterday. It's been like days and days since I had caffeine. Probably just a little bit of withdrawal. But
Uh,
I'm fighting it by using weed, as you can say.
uh-huh.
Actually, I recently submitted some of my animation to another film festival, this time for free, which is actually lovely.
I
It's
like
the
it.
New England Film Festival. It's only contained to Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And
Okay.
they actually had some funky rules. I wasn't able to submit Quinn Redshift because they're not accepting anything longer than 10 minutes, and Quinn is 27 of those. But I did send them both of my Head Meets episodes, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, then.
And I was also
I'm
saying in the green room that Dave finally arrived. So now I have Otto, Bob, Dave, Stuart, Kevin, and Garl.
not bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I finally got to carry Teddy Bear with me to dialysis.
Hmm.
It's not Theodore, but oh well.
Still need to get a picture posted of Theodore so I can see if I can hunt one down.
Not sure
I
I
miss
ever
him.
saw a
I really
picture.
do.
I'm not sure I ever saw a picture of Theodore or you holding Theodore up. I don't know if I ever saw.
We've seen she's held up Theodore before.
Oh.
I've dug through the streams. And I wasn't able to find a scene where
Yeah,
she's
I
holding
was
it.
I was holding him up in streams and stuff.
Well, you know my memory is garbage, so.
Yeah, it's anything like mine. Yep.
It's probably not. You know my excuse.
Well, the only way I remember my name is that it's on my passport.
Sewn into the inside of your clothes there. On the front, just so you can look and check.
Or get one of those old name tags that says, "Hi, my name is."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've seen one of those in a very long time. I've seen name tags without the words, but not the "Hi, my name is."
Oh, I was helping my uncle with his auctions, and he had these little digital name tags you can program in. I found that you can actually program two, who had two settings, so you can switch between them.
What did they do?
So I programmed
Hello.
one with my name and
Hi, Mom
everything,
Nato. How you
Hello.
doing, my dear?
and then on the second
Oh,
one,
I'm here.
I programmed said I quit. So after everybody left, and we were just everybody was cleaning up. I switched over to the other one, and then my uncle took everybody out to have lunch, and I was just sitting there with the name tag going, "I quit," and he looked at it and thought I had that going the whole time. He got all pissed off.
For some reason, my camera's not wanting to play today, so.
Oh, we don't get to see a beautiful face.
Mine's on, but honestly, no one wants
let me
to see
see.
this ugly mug.
There we go.
All right, now we're talking.
Oh, good afternoon.
Oh man, you didn't get any calls from the movers, did you?
No, but they said weekdays, so
They said
hopefully they said business days, which usually means weekdays. So
what? Yeah.
hopefully
No,
tomorrow.
I'm nervous.
I know.
I only got up about an hour ago. Actually,
Mm.
I should have first woke up at 9. Like, oh, I can sleep another 30 minutes. Woke up 2 hours later.
There you go.
Sounds about right.
I know what that's like. A couple of days ago, I was like not nearly awake enough. So I went back to bed and I'm like, oh, 4 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't help that I tend to wake up at 6 a.m. after having gone to sleep around midnight and not actually falling asleep till 1-ish. So, yeah.
I've been
What do
having
we
some.
have here?
I've been having some weird dreams of old friends lately.
Hmm.
Mm.
So we have Greg
So,
here.
were they good?
They weren't bad, but I don't know. I mean, one of them was a friend from high school, and we were doing some kind of weird scavenger hunt, and we had to figure out this puzzle to get some alcohol, and then we said both of us just said, "Fuck it, we'll just pull $40 and buy our own."
See, when I asked if they were good, I didn't mean the dream.
Eh.
Anyway, speaking of old friends, though, Friday I went to a D&D game with someone I went to high school with and a bunch of people I didn't know, except one of them looked so familiar. It's weird. But like I hadn't played in a very long time, not since I left Seattle, actually. A lot has changed, but a lot has stayed the same. I rolled like a natural 20 when I was like
Oh
doing
my.
a perception check, and then the rest that was my first roll of the night. The rest of the night I did not roll above a 10 on a d20. It sucked so hard.
Oh wow.
But man, you ever like meet up with someone in high school after like decades and you barely recognize them at all?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
This guy went from Rob to Robba the Hutt. I hate to say, but you know, he was still pretty much the same guy. There was just so much more of him.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that.
I've
Well,
always
I
wondered.
have often wanted to go to like a, like a class reunion to see who got fat, who got bald, who got dead, all of that, you know. But on the other hand, I really hate all those people, so I just want to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay,
same.
yeah, I
And
understand
yeah.
implicitly.
Yeah.
Now, I've always wondered, when you talk about D&D, and you said you rolled a natural 20.
Yes.
What is a natural whatever?
It's what, well, there's only natural 20s and critical failures, which is a 1. I mean, it's a d20.
Right.
You can only roll 1 through 20. If you roll a natural 20, that is usually a critical hit or a critical success or something,
Yeah.
where 1 is a critical failure, right?
Right.
So like if you roll a natural 20, say like for damage, you add a buttload of, or you don't roll it for damage. If you roll for a hit, you can usually add like a buttload of damage to it or something because it was a critical hit.
Okay,
Right.
so you're playing basketball. You want to throw the ball from halfway across the court. You roll a natural 20, and you get nothing but net.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
So I mean, like a lot of times, someone in the group would say, "Oh, I got a dirty 20," which is like they rolled a 17 and they have a +3 bonus to whatever stat it is. You know that kind
Oh,
of.
okay.
Yeah. So a
Right.
natural 20 is special. A dirty 20 is not. Although
Right.
some might argue if it's dirty, it's extra special.
Well, and generally, DMs will have a critical success and critical failure table that they roll on that gives you extra benefits. So, say you said, I'm going to stab this guy in the face, and you roll a natural 20, and you weren't intending to kill him, but the team is trying to kill him, but you weren't expecting to kill him with one hit. So, DM rolls a dice, and
Oh, that is not a singular.
Die.
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 Well, percentage dice is what I'm saying.
Oh,
So he rolls the dice and he has a table and he says, okay, well, you managed to stab this guy in the eye unexpectedly because he stumbled as he was heading for you. So there, natural 20.
Now, I have had this line in my head that I haven't been able to write into a character yet, but I love the
Mhm.
idea of someone going, "I am going to kill you right in the face." I don't know why that just strikes me as funny, and
Mhm.
I haven't had a chance to use it.
Ah,
Mm.
Oh, well,
mm.
I'll write it into something someday. I know I will.
Oh
What was
my,
that
I'm still.
Superboy line? I'll
Hmm?
kill you until you die.
Hmm.
Okay.
Then I'll resurrect you and kill you again.
All right.
Well,
Fun.
it's happened in a couple of series of Seuss's I've seen. I mean, hell, there was that one episode of Firefly where Niska kind of kills Mal and then revives him to torture him more.
Oh my. I never actually got to watch Firefly.
Oh my gosh, imagine how lucky you are to still have that experience ahead of you. I wish I could watch Firefly again for the first time. You have no idea.
Mm. I think it's on Amazon Prime
Hulu.
or Hulu. I have both. So
Oh man.
Unfortunately, my first experience with Firefly was the movie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That
Serenity,
movie was
wasn't it?
Yeah.
so god awful.
So, well, with the series,
Well,
the first episode I saw of that was with Malcolm sitting there butt naked. That went well.
Oh, that one. Well, that doesn't even work because you need to have seen another episode prior to that one to get it.
mm.
Well, hello, Gio, and hello, John. How are you guys?
Face Crusher. Is Face Crusher related to Wesley?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I never really understood the hatred for Wesley. I mean, yeah, he was a bit of a Mary Sue, a little. I mean, I didn't find him nearly so annoying, especially not compared to, say, most of the Ferengi. I mean, Nog was
Mm.
good. He's the only one I
Oh
could
yeah.
stand. But it's
Yeah.
not like he was the Jar Jar Binks of the Star Trek universe. He's not that bad. I mean, at
Oh
least there was no
no.
Wesley Crusher slapstick, you know?
Yeah.
I
I
find
never found him annoying. I found him whiny sometimes, but
Mm,
not annoying.
yeah.
I find Mariner from Lower Decks surpassingly more annoying.
I refuse to watch Lower Decks. I hate the animation style. It's an absolute abomination. And Lower Decks is a concept that I've wanted to see done seriously for decades. And then they go and make a fucking comedy. I hate it.
I watched about 3 episodes, and they only managed to get one joke that got a chuckle out of me.
Hmm. As
Mm.
opposed to
That's
say, the
bad
Orville,
comedy.
which was an absolute laugh fest until they started saying fuck it and started doing serious episodes instead.
Yeah,
And even those were, I gotta say, those were better. I mean, as fun as the comedy was, when they finally said, screw it, we're making not actually Trek, it got so much better.
I agree.
Mm.
But the jokes were still good.
Mm.
And they even then they still had that peripherally of that being there.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of toilet humor coming out of Gordon.
I've never
Sometimes
even heard
literally, you
Lower
remember when they were
Decks.
captured and like I think it was by the Kalon, and they decided that that one corner of the shuttle bay was the pee corner?
Oh yeah, the P corner.
Okay.
Well, they didn't have anywhere else to go. They were in a shuttle bay being held hostage. I mean,
Hmm.
although I would imagine that the shuttles would have to have some sort of latrine.
I would too. I mean,
It's not obvious if you look for one, but they would have to.
yeah,
So
because depending upon how far you're going, you want to be able to use a bathroom.
Speaking, like going back to Star Trek, has anyone ever actually seen a John in Star Trek? I don't think I've ever seen an on-camera turlet
no, there
in
has
Star
not been.
Trek.
No, I don't think there has been an
Yeah.
on camera. They are in the blueprints.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
going to say that.
No, it would not have shocked me though to discover that they just used the transporter to get all of the pee and dookie out of you without ever having to actually do anything. What? That's not a bad idea.
I guess.
Well, I mean, imagine like in no way ever having to wipe.
Mm.
You
Well,
know?
that's like for
That's convenient.
science fiction fantasy. Supposedly, according to Anne McCaffrey, when dragons are adults, when they teleport between, they defecate because it's there, you know?
Well, I was watching The Boys a while back, and I'm not going to give too many spoilers, but someone develops teleportation powers, but it only teleports them, so wherever they end up, they're naked.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Hmm.
Oh, I suppose I wouldn't complain that much. I'm not shy.
Mm. Yeah, well, you know about me and what I do.
Yeah, I know about you.
Although Mom NATO seems clueless. I have rollerbladed naked in many a parade.
Okay.
I mean,
I've
granted,
seen-
with body paint on, but still.
I've seen
Right.
pictures.
There are
Okay.
pictures. Whether I want them to be or not anymore, there are definitely pictures on the internet. I don't mind. Like, I'm not shy, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Wouldn't be something I would do because I'm not super graceful. So I'd be scared to fall and scrape paint off.
Well, almost everybody else is on a bicycle, if that helps. Although
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, bike seats were designed by medieval torture artists, and I
Oh,
don't
God,
even want to
yes.
sit on one in the nude. Holy shit.
No. Definitely not.
Oh, it's bad enough sitting on them with pants.
And my own personal ass bones are really like sharp or something, because if I sit on a bicycle seat for too long, they try to knife their way to air.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's what I'm hoping. I know I have my bicycle, and I hope that we go and get it next week.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting on it and riding around this island.
Mm-hmm. So are you feeling up to bicycling?
I want to work my way up. I mean, I'll bike down the street and then back, and then around the block, and then eventually I'd like to be biking to New York, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Biking
Well,
to the city.
for what it's worth, you seem to be in a much, 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 much better mood than when you were living,
Alone.
in Spitsbergen.
I have to admit I'm doing a little bit better. Yes.
Well, that's
Looks
good.
looks a lot better to me, but
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it helps that your health has improved somewhat with the change in medications.
It has. It has.
Actually, I missed
Um,
this. What about medications?
The last time she was in the hospital in Pittsburgh, I think it was, or was it the time before? Sometime within the last couple of
When I went to
visits.
Forbes,
Yeah, when she went to
yeah, they
Forbes.
completely overhauled my
Oh, that's right. I remember hearing you say about this Forbes place, and my brain went
Yeah,
to that magazine or whatever. But
yeah, but they completely changed her medications, and she's no longer having as many issues because a lot of her medications caused um, extreme effects.
so issues, but not a whole subscription.
right.
oh, and how's the
Right.
whole dialysis thing going for you?
So far, so good. They've changed my chair time.
Okay.
They were having me in at 8:45 in the morning.
Right.
They want me in now at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Is that helping?
I don't know. I haven't started yet.
Okay. Well, some people
Tuesday,
have,
I'll be in at 1:30.
yeah, sometimes people have better reactions depending upon the time that they have the dialysis. So maybe it will help.
I don't know. Maybe
We'll see.
see how difficult it is to get up in the morning or get up and go.
Yeah.
Because I will say that I do wake up spontaneously early, but it's still not easy.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Oh man. I just want my possessions, man.
Yeah, I'm
Well, I'll
hoping they'll
call like
call
a
in the
couple of
morning.
witches and warlocks I know. They might be able to manage a possession. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, I'm hoping that they will call tomorrow and say they're on their way.
I'm
Now,
hoping.
have you guys placed the money orders somewhere where they're easy to get? Do you know where they're at?
I gave the money orders to Amiga. I think he put
Okay.
them on a dresser.
Okay.
I have to remind him. He gets which ones? The $1,000
$478.
and the 400. Okay, and then the 700 he does not get.
No, because they overcharged me $300. They were not supposed to charge me for packing supplies.
Okay, then
So they're taking it out of the delivery fee.
I hope that you can get that $700 back.
Oh, yeah, I've already spoken to the post office. They said that it will take 30 to 60 days to get it back in my account.
Okay, then.
Yeah, they're going to give it back. I had already gone in there. I filled out all the forms that I had to fill out, and I had the receipt still for both of them and the number. So they're technically they're listing it as lost.
Okay.
So I'll get it back.
Just so you can get it back. I would
Mhm.
hate to see you lose that too.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fine.
And how bad was the ending of Lost? Ugh,
Hmm.
sorry.
Never watched it.
It's not worth it. I mean, it looked like it was going to be really interesting, and then it just got stupid.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I never watched it either, and then I heard about at the ending. I was like, said, okay, I'm not even gonna bother.
Hmm.
Mm.
I really wanted it to be more than what it was.
Hmm.
But, well, I mean, because like it seemed like there was all this setup and world building, and then it just sort of was nothing. And oh my God, like I will seriously hate anyone who writes an it was all a dream or they were dead all along kind of story. I want to like,
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I find those offensive.
Right.
And then again, some of these stories they've been coming out with might be an improvement doing it that way.
Mm,
Yeah,
Mhm.
John, everybody has a wrench.
yeah. You know, I realize that probably pronounced Fapiano, but I want to pronounce it Fop Piano. You know, like Elton John or Liberace.
Hmm.
Oh my.
What? I mean, am I wrong? Fop Piano?
Got
Hmm.
a point. Yeah.
I don't know.
Um.
It's funny. It's like I got nothing against Elton John except for his music.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Not a fan. I'm sorry, just not a fan. But you know, Elton John himself,
I understand he's a pretty nice guy.
Hmm.
One of the hospitals in Pittsburgh has an entire Liberace wing. I guess he was there for whatever reason and he loved it and he donated a shitload of money to them.
well, didn't Liberace like die of AIDS or some shit?
Yes.
Well, that would
Did he
probably be
die of
why.
AIDS?
Yeah, I mean, if he was in the hospital for that and he loved it and dead, I mean, it seems even if that's not the reason, it seems like it's a reasonable guess. You know,
Okay.
like, hey, you guys treated me really well, and I'm about to die, but here's a bunch of money for treating me well, kind of thing, and make sure anyone else who has this dread disease does better than I did, kind of thing. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm just kind of disappointed that he died of AIDS. It's so stereotypical.
Well,
Mm.
it was like the 80s or some shit. I mean, these days, most people just live with HIV until they die of old age.
Yeah.
Right.
1987, 67 years old.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Charlie Sheen has been HIV positive for how long?
I didn't know Charlie Sheen had AIDS
Oh yeah. Well, no, he doesn't though. It's
or
HIV.
HIV.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, as I understand it, if it turns into AIDS, you're pretty much dead, but they can control HIV pretty well now. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, it probably won't turn into,
Take care, John.
Right.
there's a couple of people in the atheist community. Oh God, what's her name now? Raven. That's it. Raven and Peach. Raven has like HIV, controlled it with meds, and now has like 2 kids with Peach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty controllable.
Mm-hmm.
Not that anyone wants to have it, I'm sure, but still.
Right.
Because it
Yeah,
seems
I
to
know.
kind of depend on the person. Some people die relatively quickly after it comes AIDS. Some live relatively normal lives.
Mm.
I've been tested a couple times recently, and I'm clean.
Well, if I had any kind of STD at all, it would have manifested long before now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm engaging in any risky behavior or anything. It's like sex. What is this sex you speak of?
Well, I have to say, like, one of the side benefits of being a lesbian is there's less in the way, I mean, it's not 100%, but there's less in the way of STDs just because of how lesbian sex works.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Liberace HIV positive had pulmonary heart disease. And
Oh, that's probably what
calcification
killed him.
of the heart and valve.
Yeah, that it's probably more the heart issues that killed him than any HIV.
well, I mean, HIV usually isn't what actually kills you. It's the immune system going dead on you that does it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But people who generally have heart disease, with any other combination of illnesses, it just exacerbates the heart conditions.
Oh, and this is
That's just what I needed to hear.
and this is
Well-
interesting. The coroner said that Liberace's doctor had deliberately claimed a false cause of death as heart failure and is never caused by I can't pronounce that word. Encephalitis.
Encephalitis.
No, not encephalitis.
Oh.
ENCEPHALOP. Encephalitis.
Type it in
I think
the comments.
Encephalopathy?
that might be it.
Encephalopathy. Yeah, I only know these words and I don't know what the fuck they mean because I watched Scrubs and House and a little bit of Grey's Anatomy until they killed off one of my favorite characters. So, yeah. Actually, it's funny like how many times I've stopped watching a show because like one of my favorite secondary characters left for whatever reason. It's like, well, that was a large part of what I was watching. I mean, Cisco on The Flash, George on Grey's Anatomy. If they ever reboot Firefly, I'm sure as hell not watching it without Wash.
I don't know. I was actually thinking of buying a television.
I bought a television recently this past month.
I only know one reason right now to two reasons to own a TV right now, and that's Blu-ray player and like console video games. Everything else is just better on computer. Well, no, I take that back, actually. That's the way it used to be. I have a really kick-ass TV now, and of course it's a smart TV, so I can stream on that instead of a computer screen.
Yeah, I've been taking my shows on a USB and plugging it in. And that gives me a chance to be able to watch my show and still mess around on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I couldn't get PBS over the air here.
And seeing as I'm reviewing movies here. Some of them are kind of boring and don't really require all my attention.
Hmm.
Reviewing just mostly make sure I have a good copy, but
So I just saw this meme, and that's awful.
oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and they like to whinge about men in dresses, but I think we all know which ones are kitty diddlers.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Somebody was like, "Oh, but they're closeted homosexuals, so it doesn't count."
Right. Although, let's face it, there are plenty of priests out there who are doing stuff with the whatever. Are they flower girls? But that's weddings. What are the girls that are not altar boys doing? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, there is something, right, where it's like you got altar boys and fill in the blank girls and Catholic whatever.
I forget because that's recent. That's since I left.
I don't remember.
Well, whatever it is, there's plenty of pedophile priests out there who are not gay.
Yeah.
Or drag queens.
Okay.
Okay.
My mom was friends with a drag queen.
I'm friends with. Well, I mean, okay, I don't know if I'm actually friends with just like a straight up performing drag queen, but I have been friends with a bunch of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Yeah, my mom was telling me a story of she was complaining about her boyfriend and being an asshole because he was an asshole. Oh, and her drag queen in front, half dressed up in his drag outfit, so he's like halfway there. And he was, oh, he should just be a man.
Back in Pittsburgh, I was friends with a whole bunch of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I'm going to have to see if I can't find a convent here.
I mean, it's kind of funny because when I first found out about them, had no idea that it wasn't just like sort of a hedonistic thing. I didn't know that it was like an AA kind of thing, but not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess perpetual indulgence should include me, but at the same time, it does sort of sound a little hedonistic, you know?
Encephalopathy. Okay. Encephalopathy.
No, but the sisters in Pittsburgh really did some really, really good work.
Just like the sort of trumpetite MAGA wing just recently discovered their existence and started throwing a tantrum about it. Because let's face it, they're not just in drag; they're drag as sort of like nuns meet Kiss kind of thing. And boy, howdy, did the conservatives lose it.
I wonder if satanic drag is a thing.
Wouldn't shock me. I mean, hell, given how much like there's drag cosplay just at Comic-Con, I mean, it would not shock me in the least. I mean, it's like you'll get these couples where she's dressed up as He-Man and he is dressed up as She-Ra or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is a satanic drag.
Okay. Encephalopathy.
Yep.
Is a disease in which the functioning of the brain is affected by some agent or condition, such as an infection or toxins in the blood.
So taking acid then.
Yeah. Well, that's like my mom had encephalitis, which is fever of the brain.
Right.
And caused grand mal seizures.
Gee, I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, gee, I don't know, Kate.
Yeah.
And yeah, she went into a coma for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
And after that, she had issues with her short-term memory and some minor, small issues with her long-term memory.
Now, as bad as a grand mal is, you're more or less unconscious for the bastard. It was the absence seizures, the mini seizures that were creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Because you're awake, but in a complete stupor.
Okay.
Like, you hear stories, maybe real, maybe not, sometimes, like fiction, where someone is like kidnapped, blindfolded, and dumped in a city they've never been in before and forced to find their way home. That's kind of what an absence seizure felt like. It was like, I have no idea where the hell I am. I don't realize I just walked past my own home. What the hell's going on?
Oh,
It's
wow.
The
creepy.
ones
And,
I had
and
the
at the same time,
convulsions.
it's almost like sleepwalking at the same time.
Mm.
I had the convulsions and throwing up.
Okay, I never threw up. I feel lucky about that one. I may have
Yeah.
left myself a couple of times, though. Either that or I woke up sweaty. I'm not sure which. I just put the pants in the washer and took a shower.
Hmm.
At least the
Yeah.
ones I remember, I was convulsing and throwing up.
Makes me glad I've never had seizures.
I
Mm.
I'd
remember,
look around myself in my own room and I'd have no idea where I was.
I
There
remember
was
a lot.
once I was on the light rail in Seattle, and all of a sudden was like very adamantly looking for a backpack I hadn't brought with me. And, for once, I was the weirdo on the train. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Okay.
I remember a lot of them would start with a twitch on the side of my mouth.
Mm.
I couldn't control. It was really weird. It was like, but once I started feeling that twitch, I was like, oh shit.
Now, see,
Mm.
I never had anything like, well, I mean, okay, there were physical movements for Grand Mal, but of course, I didn't know that until my doctor showed me video that time I was having an EEG test.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
if I was
when you were doing
having
the Herbert from Carry On thing, yeah.
whatever, what I did, like when the absence seizures happened, though, like there was a physical sensation I'm not sure I could ever describe, but I will never forget it. I will recognize it immediately if it happens again. It was just this sort of like, imagine if you can be nauseous without being nauseous. It's like,
Mhm.
I don't want to throw up, I don't feel sick, and yet I somehow feel like that same sort of disorientation, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, the only thing I've ever been close to any of those situations is when I had pneumonia, and
Mm.
I'm just kind of laying there like spaced out. You're on so much medication that you really aren't aware of where you're at, what you're doing, and you just feel like you're floating away.
Yeah.
All is strange and vague.
My dad
Are
used to
we
have.
dead, or is this Ohio?
Yeah. My dad used to have a lot of hallucinations with the seizures. I think I had some hallucinations as well with the seizures, but
What?
I remember like when I was like
Come
3 years old, my dad sitting having a seizure in bed talking about aliens landing in the backyard and they're climbing into his stomach.
Oh my!
Wow. Yes, yeah, I never had hallucinations, but I guess you could call them delusions, some of the stuff that popped into my
Come
head.
here. All right.
But there were times where
All
when my dad
right.
was in the hospital and he went into a seizure and they thought he was mentally ill, so they sent him to you know, a funny farm,
The psych ward. Yeah.
like ward, yeah.
Come on.
He even
Yes.
had the slippers with the little smiley faces on it to prove
Oh
it.
golly. Now, I always wonder, like, don't you think that if someone is kind of going nuts, that sticking him in, say, a straight jacket would make it so much worse?
Hi.
I imagine it could if you're claustrophobic.
I see a Mr. Shadow Kitty. Hey, how's it going?
Yep, there's Sylvester. Yeah, hi.
No. I meant in the chat, Mr. Shadow Kitty.
Oh,
Hello.
okay.
Hi there, honey.
Not
You
that
know-
your kitty isn't wonderful. It's just I meant
Oh,
someone
he's
else.
adorable. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
You can imagine being about 3 years old, the mother, her having a diabetic reaction and not knowing where she is. It's like almost like dementia. The dad in a seizure, you're hallucinating about aliens climbing in their stomach, and me sitting there like, okay, I gotta take care of this.
Fun.
Oh my god.
That's my normal.
Yeah.
So I've actually figured out some of the troubles that me and my dad have had with relating to each other because
Ooh.
there's been a little bit of friction. It turns out we both realized this, that he will think a thought and then vocalize the next part, leaving me and my autistic ass with no context. And when I'm completely boggled and trying to get him to stop and slow down, it just causes problems. So he's doing his best to vocalize more.
Okay.
So he
Yeah.
only says about half the sentence.
Well, no, it's not even a sentence. It's like he wants to come up with a plan to do something, and he comes up with this great concept and then starts with step one of implementing it without telling me what it is, right? So he'll be like, okay, so we can start doing blah. And I'm like, but why? And he's like, oh, it'll really help with step two. And I'm like, but what are we doing? What? You know, because I have no context, and that would screw up anybody, but someone with autism, fuck me, right? So yeah, we're working on that.
Step 1, steal underpants.
Step
What?
2, step 3, profit.
What are you looking at?
Actually, come to think of it, there's probably a market
Yes.
for filthy underpants out there. Bad example.
Actually, yes, there is.
Yeah.
I believe in Japan they have vending machines. With
Oh.
underpants.
Well, and in The Big Bang Theory, they kept making reference to like black market fan merchandise, like screen-worn Uhura panties.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's funny, like I never really found Nichelle Nichols all that attractive, but whoever the heck it is, Zoe Saldana or whatever, who played her in the new movies, she's pretty all right. That might not even be her, but whoever it is playing Uhura in the
That would be Zoe Saldana.
yeah, she's not bad at all.
Death and digital resurrection of Japan's used panty vending machines. So what? They're online now?
Oy
Oh,
vey.
disgusting. Oh, you're gonna lay down, huh? I have a cuddle monster.
I suppose that's one thing to do with your used panties.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a line in a British sitcom, Coupling, where someone says something about like changing their underwear, and Jane looks at him and goes, "Underwear? What's that?"
Okay.
You know, like she was trying to make it sexy. I'm not sure it worked. But
Doesn't
well,
sound
then
like it
again,
would.
Jane on that show was freaking psychotic, so that might be part of it.
Oh.
Oh my.
What are you doing?
Okay, so some of them were manufactured to appear used.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. That's still gross.
Well, but I mean, okay, I've never quite understood what people are supposed to get out of that. Like, I know apparently guys like to sniff it, but
Ugh.
I don't know. I don't get it. I've never understood the appeal.
I don't know, but apparently the vending machine it costs you 500 yen.
That's
like
$5.
12 cents.
It's cheap.
100 yen is $1.
Is
Yeah,
it?
roughly.
I don't know. I that must have changed. I seem to remember people paying like 20,000 yen for something that's like $1.50. I don't know.
500 yen is roughly $5.
All right. Jesus, that's probably like less than an actual clean pair costs.
20,000 yen would be $200.
Is there like a like does each pair come with a bio or something?
I have no clue.
It seems very strange. I don't get it. Like, I hear a lot of these, like, not even necessarily fetishes, but whatever it is people are into, and I just don't understand.
Let's see. According to my German acquaintance, one on the street he had a real used panty vending machine.
Oh, Diana, you know those 3 new cat foods I bought yesterday, right?
Say again, honey.
You remember the 3 cans of cat food I talked about buying?
Yeah.
Sylvester so far has loved the ocean white fish with sardines, and he actually ate the salmon with brown rice and peas.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Brown rice and what? This is cat food.
Yes.
I got the I
I'm
could only find
confused.
I could only find one can of the type of canned food that Molly likes, so I
Mm-hmm.
got the more expensive blue. It was a beef
Uh-huh.
stew one. She wouldn't touch
Right.
it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have found that Sylvester will not eat chicken. He will not eat turkey. He will not eat. They call it mixed grill, which I would assume would be beef and pork and chicken combination. He won't touch any of those. All he will touch is salmon, sea captain's choice. He'll eat mariner's catch, and he'll eat uh, ocean whitefish.
Oh
Yeah,
sure.
I
Yeah.
saw a
Yeah.
lot of Mariners catch when I was in Seattle.
Why is your arm hurting?
No one, huh? All right. The Seattle Mariners baseball team
Yeah.
call up Mariners catch.
Mm.
Ah, forget it. You're useless. What's the matter with you?
I suppose
Be
that
more careful, okay? Probably.
suppose I will
If
have to
n-
see the meds at City.
If not, we'll put some rub on it, Talon, okay?
Mm.
Uh,
I hurt my
my
foot with
cats will
this.
eat just about any damn thing if it's cat foodish.
Yeah, I hurt my foot
Yeah.
earlier this week. Stepped
Oh,
on
no.
either a sharp rock or a stick. It punctured my foot.
Oh.
And
Oh.
it's like bruised and cut, so it's been difficult to walk.
Were
I
you
wasn't paying
walking around
attention,
barefoot?
Stumbled
Yeah,
into the door frame.
I just went out. I went outside barefoot just to do something real quick, and I stepped on.
Oh.
I didn't. I felt it puncturing me, but I didn't feel the pain until. And I looked
Uh-huh.
down, and there was like blood. I'm like, oh crap.
Oh, boy.
I've done that.
Did
Oh,
you wash it out real well? Use...
Yeah, I rinsed it. I've been keeping an eye on it, but it's still kind of bruised and tender to walk on. I mean, it's doing
Maybe
better,
put
but
put a band-aid on it and wear a
Yeah.
sock.
yeah, I put a bandage on it at first until it stopped bleeding.
Hmm.
I stumbled and fell into the door frame a little while ago, mashed the hell out of my upper arm. It was
Oh.
bruised for a while. And
Mhm.
like, someone wanted to say, hey, good to see you, or good job, or some patted me right there very gently, and I nearly jumped out of my skin. Like it was
Oh,
that
yeah.
bruised. But the weird thing is, like, there was no mark. But on the other
Mhm.
hand, I got hit quite gently in the other arm, bruised the size of a softball. It's crazy.
Fortunately,
Well,
it was my left foot that got hurt, and I'm used to shifting my weight to my right anyway. So,
mhm. Okay. If the Tylenol doesn't help, let me know and we'll put some Absorbing Junior on it or some joint flex medicine.
I envy people who like Tylenol and aspirin are actually effective.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
never had that shit work on me.
yeah.
Generally, pain medications work really well unless it's for my back,
Well,
and then I'm shit out of luck.
I mean, I can endure most pain, but the truth is that the only thing that ever helps me is the stuff that is not over the counter.
Mhm.
And like, well, like I say, I just endure it because fuck it,
Mhm.
I don't even want to risk addiction, and trying to get this stuff through a doctor is probably like lots of gatekeeping. So why
Mhm.
bother?
Yeah, I'm not too fond of having to take naproxen sodium every night, and about the only thing that works on a headache for me is ibuprofen.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to take ibuprofen, and I can't take NSAIDs. So
Yeah,
Wow.
I have to, but I'm kind of worried if it gets to the point where I can't, I'm gonna be kind of shit out of luck.
No,
Mhm.
that's weird. Like, what did you do before, Apple started putting out medication? Ibuprofen.
Mhm.
Sorry, I can't help it. Any word that starts with the sound "I," my brain goes there, and sometimes I just have to say it, or my head will explode.
Mm.
I have all the. Yeah. I
Diana, you're roboting.
what
Beep once for yes, twice for no.
Nah. Oh gosh, remember when they said they were hearing some sort of clanging from what they thought was the sub that had imploded?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they even said what that banging sound was, because clearly those people were not alive anymore.
Are they still
Well-
trying to dredge that thing back up?
I don't know.
Um, I know
I
that
haven't
they were
looked.
trying to bring up the nose cone, I think, and the tail cone, but what I don't understand, and anybody with any kind of knowledge about carbon fiber, even most normal people with carbon fiber bikes, you know, they break
Ruh-roh.
easily under stress, especially extreme stress. And carbon fiber is not resilient when it comes to pressure. So why in the hell would you create a submersible made out of carbon
Well,
fiber?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Now, I don't know if this was real or not because it's the internet, but
Mm-hmm.
I did see something from like 2018 where the CEO of what is it called, Ocean Quest or whatever,
Ocean
was
Star.
talking. Sure, was talking to someone else about the sub, and they were saying, "Look, I know you're impatient and everything, but this is an untested like format that you're
Mhm.
doing. This is a prototype." And he
Right.
goes, "Yeah, but like you're not going to hold me back. I want to go here." And they're like, "You realize you're making the same mistake as the captain of the Titanic, right? Not
Yep.
listening to people about the
Hmm.
untestedness of your vessel." And he's like,
Right.
fuck you. And he went anyway, and look what
Yeah.
happened.
Exactly.
Apparently, the guy has a history of not listening to safety
Had.
regulation.
Well, yes. No, he has a history. The history's still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is he didn't have an engineer make this submersible. He had it built himself. And that's the problem. He didn't they should have done a ROV test on it
They did
and
test
sent it.
it. They tested it and said the thing was not rated for we were going down that deep, and he still went and ignored it.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I guess his family and friends that went with him, if I hate to see what's going to happen. I hate to see the
Well,
lawsuits.
I mean, I don't know about the friends. I'm pretty sure the family was just his son. No, well, I mean, I say just as in not other family members, not
Well,
value
no,
wise. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But like, he also brought, what was it, two other like rich motherfuckers with him.
that's what I'm saying. The people who were not family members of him, their family members or surviving family members, they could easily sue the family.
I don't think they could sue the family. I
I don't
think they
know.
could sue the company at best. But even then, I mean, they probably signed releases. I hope they signed releases before
If
they
they
went.
didn't,
I'm just saying, is like
yeah,
if I were in charge, I would have made them sign releases.
right.
But then
But
again, this guy apparently was a bit of a schmuck. I can't
mhm.
even imagine what kind of meat slurry the inside of that sub looks like.
Mm,
I mean, the word chum comes to mind.
Well,
yeah,
I do hope it was crush over, not
Oh,
suffocate for 4 days.
I heard that like when they died, the implosion took 1/20th of a second.
yeah, it would
Okay.
have
Like
been
they
super
never
quick.
even knew they were dead.
Yeah, it would have been that quick.
Yep.
Good. I prefer that over having them sitting in there for 4 days, slowly suffocating. But
Well, you know, the thing is, like,
Hmm.
okay, Seth Andrews, right? He's been talking
Mhm.
about this for a while, and apparently he was hand wringing a little bit about how people were making jokes, you know, about these
Mhm.
dead people. And one of the things he
Yeah,
said was, you know, they're not, none of these were Trump or Hitler or Stalin. I'm like, yeah, but that's
right.
not where the bar is set. We're talking more like Gates, Bezos, and fucking Musk, right? That
Mhm.
because these were
Yeah,
rich people who said the 1% version of hold my beer. They fucked around and found out. And Schadenfreude says this is fucking funny. I mean,
mhm.
because in a dark humor sort of way, yeah, it's funny.
Mm,
they
It
did it to
is.
themselves.
they
Yeah.
did do it to themselves, and anybody, I mean, anybody with half a brain would know carbon fiber is not going to survive that depth.
I
And
actually
I would
hadn't
have
heard
told
about the
him,
carbon fiber
oh,
part till now, but
fuck no.
hmm.
Yeah, the sub was made of out of carbon fiber.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I just know that I wouldn't have gone.
mm-mm. I
even
I
if
wouldn't
the
have
sub
gone if he
was
paid me
100 well, even if the sub was 100% safe, I'm like, going that deep, you're probably spending like forever in a decompression chamber
Mhm.
later.
Right. Well, I wouldn't have gone if they pay, even if they offered to pay me $1 billion. Holy shit, no.
Let's see here.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm
Hello.
Yeah, I
scared.
wondered what happened to you.
Second,
Yeah.
I was wondering what happened to you.
Yeah, it's not the most
Oh, cover it up, yo.
internet here. Hmm?
The last thing we need is YouTube taking us off the air.
Oh, jeez. Cover up.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
YouTube
true.
doesn't like that kind of stuff.
But I don't swim well to begin with, and the thought of being down in that depth and not being able to get back up would be terrifying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Plus, I mean, from what I saw of the sub, I mean, they were supposed to be touring the Titanic, and it looked like it had this tiny ass porthole. So unless
Yeah.
they had like cameras on the outside or something, like what was the
Mhm.
point?
Oh my.
You know, like what
Yeah.
were they gonna see?
Not
They'd be
much.
fighting over whose turn it was to look through the
Diane,
door
close your
hole
robe.
thing. Yeah, seriously,
Oh my, oh
Diana.
my, oh my,
Diana,
oh my, oh my.
close robe.
Close your robe.
Close your robe. Diana, close your. Oh, jeez.
Diana.
Diana, there you go.
Yeah. Merciful Zeus, yo.
Okay,
God, do
where are
people
we?
still say yo? I don't know where that came from. I said that name.
Thank you for the peep show.
Oh.
Oh, there's yours again. Well,
Oh,
apparently,
my.
People still say yo. I don't know why I'm saying that right now.
Some people do, yeah.
Yeah.
so I hear apparently one of the people who went into that sub was actually a relative of two of the people who died on the Titanic.
Oh,
well, that's ironic.
jeez. Yeah.
In fact, apparently they had a recreation of in the movie. There was a recreation of that couple in the movie.
Huh. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, that movie was okay, but I kept waiting for like aliens or spaceships or something to show up.
Well, I reviewed the that Pride movie I was planning to do for movie night.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of boring. It had a few. The old lady was funny. I don't want to really get into too much since I want to play it for everybody, but
Mhm.
You know, like the one who spent like 70% of the trailer asking for lesbians, that one?
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
She was funny.
Hmm.
So, what are our other choices then?
I have just about anything you want, really. You know, but I'm just gonna do that one just to kind of start things off. I'm thinking
Mhm.
maybe Monday at 9 p.m. so far. I haven't really.
Mhm.
I'm still working on times, and if anyone else wants to give me suggestions for a time, I mean, I'm still open looking for ideas.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think I have anything going on Mondays.
In fact, the Monday at 8 thing was actually a joke by Sinister Porpoise. It seems to be working so far from what little I've been told. Can you hear us now, Diana?
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
'cause-
not the most reliable internet in the world.
maybe not, but it would be a really good idea to not walk around with that robe open.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. YouTube doesn't like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Mage, were you thinking of movies of any genre or
Yeah.
okay.
Any genre. Just like I said, I got a list of some of you guys' favorite movies. I figured I'd go through those.
Oh, guess what? I was
What?
looking at my movies, trying to decide like what I might, and my eye landed on the Harry Potter box set that I have before I realized J.K.
Mhm.
Rowling is such a well. Guess what? Achievement unlocked. She blocked me on Twitter.
Hey!
Yes.
J.K. Rowling. J.K.
J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling blocked my ass. That is like, sort of the gold standard for queer people these days.
Okay.
Look at that. I pissed off J.K. Rowling. She blocked me. Rock and roll. It's kind of like being blocked by Jordan Peterson.
I don't
Hey.
understand. I don't understand why people are so enamored of blocking, because all it does is hides the target from you. It doesn't do anything to the rest of the world.
I think she must use. I think she must use the blockchain because I'm blocked as well.
Well, I think she blocks people just because, oh, you disagree with me on something I think is very fundamental. Bye bye.
Yeah, I
You know,
think
that
she.
kind
I
of.
think she must have recently used the blockchain because I'm blocked as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did say something in a Twitter exchange where she happened to be there, and it was definitely not in favor of her side. I think she may have taken it personally.
I've said a few. I've said only a couple things to her in responses, but I've never really. I don't think she ever really saw any of my responses. So I'm guessing she must have just used the blockchain to get anyone even associated with other people that she blocked.
I don't know. I mean, it did happen after I waded into an argument that she was having, or maybe it wasn't an argument. Maybe it was some like rabidly anti-trans thing she said, and I post like I have a bunch of memes now that I like to post at people. Like there's this one I have where I explain that like turf is really just toxic femininity, not toxic feminism, mind you. Toxic femininity is when you are policing someone else's femininity. It's like no true Scotsman. You're not a girl enough for me. And it can be
Okay.
applied
Yeah,
to
yeah.
cis women as well. You know, bull dykes and the like are not feminine enough for someone who's indulging in toxic femininity. Now, I also pointed out that transphobia, even like against trans guys, is really just misandry aimed at the wrong target. Like whenever they say like all trans women are really men kind of thing, that means they hate men. Or at least they look at men as a threat, this, that, and the other thing. And I keep saying, look, trans women
Hmm.
are women. You don't like men. So or rather you're scared of men, whatever it is. So you are misandrists pointed in the wrong direction because the really like the ones you want to go after are those alpha males, the self-declared alpha males. That's who you really don't want in the women's John. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I came across an interesting video on the whole alpha male thing recently. I think it was in the Big Think in YouTube stuff.
Hmm.
It was rather interesting. It was kind of covering how what we think of alpha male isn't really the what we think of it is because usually an alpha male also encompasses somebody who's compassionate. In when you're actually looking at the real quote unquote alpha male in packs and stuff.
Well, these guys that call themselves alpha males, they all think that they're badasses, which is
Yeah,
kind of funny looking at Andrew Tate and his complete lack of chin.
but what was really interesting is this was coming from the guy who kind of coined the phrase, so to speak.
Uh,
Like, yeah, I contributed to this phrase alpha male, and now I kind of regret it. Is basically what he was saying.
Well, I saw like something on Twitter. This guy was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm an alpha male," and this other guy goes, "Okay," and he's like, "I'm 6'4". I'll take your girlfriend." And I'm sitting here thinking, "What physically? Because she might have a choice in the matter. Just because you're 6'4" doesn't mean she's gonna get wet for you, dude."
Yeah, and then basically what the guy was saying like yeah, alpha male doesn't necessarily mean the macho no asshole.
Mm. Well, I mean, alpha in any group is like the leader, but the leader isn't necessarily, like the most badass. I think it comes from the same mistaken idea of evolution, where things that evolve don't level up like in D&D. You don't get more badass; you get more adaptable. And similarly, if someone is an alpha in a group, it means they're the best suited to lead, which
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily equal physical prowess.
yeah, that's exactly what the guy was saying. In fact, he was also
Yeah.
mentioning you're not. It also depends on what the group thinks of you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's such a thing as an alpha female.
This is true.
I mean, that's usually associated with like maternity, but not necessarily. Ah, yes, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I love to fight.
Mm.
It's kind of like, look, it's not me, it's you. I just don't like you.
In fact, if you really think about in nature, the alpha female is probably more common.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
Although, let's face it, a lot of people's idea of an alpha female is some like, elderly harridan kind of like what's her face from Annie type, Mrs. Hannigan.
Mm.
A lot of people probably associate alpha female with the sort of like elderly maiden or widow kind of
Yeah.
type. You know what I mean? The one who has absolutely no sense of humor and is really grumpy. That's probably what most people picture when they think of an alpha female. It's not the case, but that's probably where their brain goes.
The wise
Mhm.
old grandma.
Or the grouchy old grandma, the stern one, the one who has the sort of Victorian or whatever outfit with the brooch and everything's all like buttoned up tight and all that shit. You know who I mean? The school teacher with the ruler, kind of.
What, Nurse
one
Ratched?
of,
Professor McGonagall.
one of the
Yeah,
like that.
McGonagall,
One
that's
of
a
the
good example.
antagonists from Anne of Green Gables kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Or what's Maggie Smith, who played McGonagall in Harry Potter
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a good example.
when she's playing in Downton Abbey, where she's
Never
always got
seen
her hair up in a twist up bun
Hmm.
and always wearing the high necked gown that comes up to
Mhm.
here and the brooch in the center of
Yep.
the throat
Yep.
and the long sleeves and the long skirt.
And for some reason, I always picture that with like a ruler ready to smack some kid,
A fan. If we're talking Victorian.
Well, either way, I mean, the point is like
Yeah.
one of those really stern, no
Starch
nonsense
skirts.
types.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, weirdly enough, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of an alpha female is like a lion, like in a lion pride kind of deal. The
Mm-hmm.
damn.
Sarabi.
There you go.
See, imagine if a alpha female would be sort of like Kavina from the Orville.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sorry, at first I heard Navina, and I was like, wait, who? And I was like, oh, right, it starts with an H.
Unless it's pronounced, I suppose, unless it's pronounced with the H is a J sound. I mean,
Well, but no, Havina, yeah. I don't know. The one thing I am really a couple of things I'm trying to avoid when I write sci-fi is, well, number one, if aliens have religion, I'm trying really hard to not fall into the make it like an Abrahamic religion trap. Because I mean, I was playing Mass Effect 2, and there was some alien preacher who was talking about apocalypse and repenting and all this stuff. I'm like, aliens probably wouldn't have a religion like that. I mean, religion isn't always about that kind of thing. Just look at pagans, for example.
I would
Right.
imagine that if an alien was going to have a religion, it might be closer to like a pagan type of religion of like a nature kind of thing.
But also, another thing I'm trying to avoid is ending alien names with like a more earthly, feminine kind of like. They're not all going to end in Y and A, for fuck's sake.
Teal.
Yeah, I mean, but like I look at, say, Japan, half the feminine names end in O, like Ko, and then a lot of guys' names end in an A of some various sort or other, and it's like, yeah, Akira, Ranma, whatever, and I mean, like I'm trying to avoid the sort of Western paradigm of the masculine and feminine names. You know what I mean? I'm also trying to avoid having any alien names that use apostrophes. And damn it, aliens can use contractions, for fuck's sake.
Well, yeah.
Well, but I mean, there's so many in sci-fi. Just watch, especially in Star Trek. Every alien refuses to use contractions. And they made a joke about that in the Orville, where
Mhm.
where like an alien who had been disguised as a human then takes off the disguise essentially, and Captain Mercer's like, I liked you better when you were still using contractions. I cheered out loud when they said that because I was like, I'd been thinking that for fucking ever, and finally someone else sees it. That
Mhm.
kind of thing. I'm just trying to avoid falling into the typical traps, the tropes, all of that. I'm going to, excuse me, insist on using have to or going to or gonna, where a lot of sci-fi will put must. But like
Mhm.
we have to rescue the hostages instead of we must rescue the hostage. They always put must in there. It's like they don't even know they're doing it. It's automatic.
You could also have the aliens order their sentences differently. For instance, if they were going to say, you could say brown, bear, brown, big.
I could, but I don't know. There's that might be a little too much. I mean, because let's face it, Yoda is Yoda because he's unique.
Hmm.
You know? Like, if an entire movie was nothing but people speaking like Yoda, that might get annoying after a while. I'm not sure if I
Well,
can watch it all the way through.
well, it's something just one character, not like an entire, not everybody in the.
Still, I don't want to, like, make an entire alien species that speaks like that.
Alright. Suggestion.
Yeah. But I'm getting really close to finishing the first model for that game I'm making. I really need to learn to moderate how many polygons I use. I mean, one of the places indie games suffer is the artwork. Most of them are made by people with coding experience. They have no idea what they're doing with art. Meanwhile, the animator in me is going, but I need all this detail. And it's like, no, really, I don't. But I feel like I do because I'd be offended if I didn't. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I mean, just me as an artist, I'm maybe putting too much detail into the toes of these characters. I mean, hands okay, but I mean, I'm even going to have customization options where they can put on boots. No one's going to see those toes on the alien, but
Hmm.
on the other hand, I am making a Zeta Reticulan right now, and they have a tendency to stroll around in the nude, so who knows?
Zeta Reticulan. Okay.
The Greys.
Gray ones that, mutilate
Okay.
cattle, make
Right.
crop circles, give colonoscopies to rednecks,
Yeah, I made my own version of that for something before.
Hmm.
Instead of actually having a regular digestive system, they have more like this kind of a sac that they kind of put the food in, it dissolves.
Hmm.
So the mouth is just it doesn't actually have a digestive tract back to it. It's
Mhm.
just a kind of like pouch, sort of like a Venus flytrap, and just put the food in and just let it dissolve from the mouth and do kind of absorbs the
Hmm.
nutrients through the skin.
It doesn't look like I saved it. This sucks. I made a picture a while back where I took, when they make a latte or whatever at Starbucks and they put that funky, like, flowery design in it. And I was looking at
Mhm.
it, I was like, you know what? That looks remarkably like a crop circle. And so I'm starting to wonder
Mm.
if maybe aliens, UFOs, they're just, interstellar baristas.
There you go.
Huh.
Hmm.
But now I can't
Possibly.
find the picture I made. It's probably still on Twitter and Facebook somewhere. So if I want it, I can save it. But still, where the hell did it go?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh,
Bang.
wait.
Although there's that picture.
Incoming transmission!
So you say there's that picture I made of UFOs attacking Seattle that time. Oh, well. All right. Who said what to me over text? Oh, it's my dad.
Yeah, I sort of figured it was him.
Hmm. Yeah, he just wants to know if I want to go on a bike ride when this is over, but it's too damn cloudy.
Aw.
Oh, it is. Like I was at a Pride event yesterday for a little while, but it just started getting torrential out there, so I left early. And honestly, everyone was about 10 to 20 years younger than me anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah.
In Florida, in
But
Florida
also,
be
like, I'm really hoping.
Transmission.
Shut up, Dad. I'm really hoping for a thunder and lightning storm finally. There's been like one or two thunderclaps, but one of the reasons I wanted to move back to Vermont was I really miss thunderstorms. I mean, it wasn't the main reason, it wasn't even a big reason, but it is a reason.
in Florida having overcast is a good thing.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of Seattle-ish out there right now. I'd rather it was either sunny or storming. Plus, it's it's summer. It's cloudy. It is so freaking humid right now. You have no idea.
Mm.
You know, it's like I walk outside to go to the supermarket, and all of a sudden my hair looks like I'm trying to ward off predators.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know,
Does that frill thing from Jurassic Park, huh?
basically, yeah. I hate my hair so much. I lost so many genetic lotteries. Although, one genetic lottery I totally won. Okay. I haven't seen a dentist because money in like literally decades. I went in for a cleaning last week, no cavities, perfect dental health, and I still have all my wisdom teeth. That is a genetic lottery I won the frickin' jackpot on, is teeth.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right?
Okay.
Like as opposed to my dad who has to have a new crown put in like every 3 weeks.
Okay, wait a minute. June 25th. What is the date today?
June 25th.
Yarp.
Okay, so there's second annual Huntington Family Pride Picnic today.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's going on right now.
Never been the hugest fan of picnics, unless it's like at a picnic table with barbecue and all that stuff. But go out into the park, spread out a blanket, and open the cooler, forget it. You know?
Mm.
Hmm.
Not a fan. And then when I moved here, I decided, oh, what the hell? Let's see if it works, and made an OkCupid profile. It really hasn't gotten me anywhere. But one of the things I put on there after reading just about everyone else's profile, I'm like, look, I will never be your nature hike girl. I will be your bike path and beach girl, but I am not going into the woods with you. You know, like it's not because I'm realizing I never hated nature. Not really. I just don't like the woods. I love beaches. Love beaches. Beaches are the best. And bike
Okay.
paths are fun too. The bike path here in the Burlington area is so lovely. It really is.
Hmm.
So, you know, it's not that I'm not outdoorsy. I'm just not, you know, a lumberjane.
Hmm.
Okay.
I was a little surprised by that. I like just out of nowhere, I was talking about the topic and typed in lumberjane, and my spell checker recognized it. And someone else was like, "Wouldn't it be a lumberjill?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I know my instinct was to type in lumberjane, and it worked." So,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
Look what I just found.
Hmm.
There's a reference to the Transgender Resource Center of Long Island. I may have to look them up.
Hmm.
You know what I like to find is people who have a sense of humor about the minority group they're part of. Like someone
Mhm.
said something about like trans people, and I made a joke about Transformers, and they thought it was funny and knew that it
Mhm.
was not like there was no ill intent. But I know some
Right.
people where if I had said that joke to them, they would have lost it and decided I was MAGA.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
So you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I've got to have a sense of humor about my position, really. I mean, if I didn't laugh,
Mhm.
I'd cry.
Mm.
Right.
got a really fun Irish drinking song, basically called "Laugh or Else You'll Cry." Believe me, I love that song. I really do.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Actually, I was listening on the way to the supermarket earlier today. I was listening to an Irish drinking song by a band called Gaelic Storm. Not a bad
Mhm.
band, but I cannot hear that name without turning it into Garlic Storm in my head. Yeah. Although, actually, if they decide to be a queer band, I mean, Gaelic Storm would totally work.
Mhm.
You know.
Usually I hear
Mm.
Gaelic, and I'm thinking it's something lesbians do.
Yeah. You know, and don't get me started on Lickety Split.
Right.
Sounds filthy to me. I mean, not in a bad way, but it still sounds filthy. It's suggestive.
Okay.
I like, okay, this is looking good. I'm going to have to contact these people.
Mm.
Go. Hmm.
You're actually getting social groups there, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
Imagine. Of course, you know
Who
what's
would have
going to
thunk?
happen is you know you'll find all these people to hang with, and you won't need us anymore.
Aw,
I know.
I always need you.
Well, I mean, hell, I got into a D&D group, and I'm still here.
There
Although I
you
will say there's a conflict between this and a buffer sword group I was thinking about joining. So, you know,
Mm.
pretty sure that's where I got one of those bruises I was talking about.
Probably.
Uh-oh.
And of course, my brain goes somewhere a little bit X-rated with buffer, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my brain is my own worst enemy. It makes these jokes without any conscious, deliberate thought. I can't help
Mhm.
it. It's an autism thing. Like, seriously, so many autistic people will describe their brain as being like a separate entity that hates them. And it's
Yeah.
true. It's constantly saying shit to me that I wish I wasn't hearing.
Mm.
I was telling my brain to shut up the other day.
Mm. You know, it's like the number of times I'm at a solemn occasion and my brain is spewing the most like inappropriate, horrible things that if I said them, they'd get out the torches and pitchforks. And I'm like, stop saying that. Stop saying it. Shut up, brain. I don't want this.
Mm.
It's just beyond annoying. I mean, fortunately, obviously, I have self-control enough to not like put any of that into action, but
Mhm.
still, I mean, every time I say that I have to get a joke out of my head or I'll explode, that's a symptom of it.
Oh,
See,
jeez.
Tornado's never done stuff like that.
How do
He's
you know?
because he's pretty open about what's going on in his head.
Oh, fair enough then.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean,
Again,
it's still. I mean, obviously, autism is not one size fits all. But
Oh
you
yeah,
can
I
find
know.
whole websites dedicated to how much we hate our brains.
a
Mm.
Jaws bath bomb. Looking at this
Oh.
Japanese product, you take it out. It looks like a ship. You throw it into the bathtub. It sinks down, bubbles up, and then once it gets to a certain point, it starts bubbling up red. And
Oh
in this
dear.
inside like little toy Jaws.
Okay,
Well,
then.
I mean,
Okay.
okay, I love Japan. I love the Japanese, but they get into some weird shit. I saw something like a day or two ago where there's like this comfy pillow that
Mhm.
nevertheless is designed to make it look like you're being preyed upon by some monster or animal or something, where you're
A red-
lying there and it's eating you or some shit.
A little cute little red panda. Yeah, I've seen
That's
that.
right. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, I don't get that. I mean, I love Japan. I love a lot of their culture, but man, do they have some interesting things they get up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and so much of it seems to be, if not behind closed doors, at least not out in public. I mean,
Mhm.
how much is the stereotype of the like dignified Japanese business dude who's nevertheless sitting at a strip club?
Yeah.
That's like a total trope.
Mhm.
Ah, well, whatever. Who am I to judge, right?
Mhm.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. Yeah.
I got no problem with being judged. I mean, whenever someone says "Don't judge me," I'm like, "Sorry, I won't be able to help it. I'll just not condemn you. Is that okay?"
Okay then.
You know, like, because let's face it, we all judge, like it or not.
Yeah.
We all judge.
Well, that's what they
Yeah.
mean anyway. When they say "Don't judge me," they mean "Don't condemn me." Yeah.
Well, neurotypical people should fucking well say what they mean for realsies instead of
I
this all like
know.
dancing around and hinting at it. I mean, oh my god.
I know. Oh,
Anyway.
I see where these. Okay, these transgender people are on the east end of the island. Okay, about an hour from here by bicycle.
Mm.
I
Mm.
could make it work.
Oh, my dad bought this bike for my mom that I test rode.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have any gears, but it's not a one speed either. It has a belt instead of a chain, and you can tighten it sort of the way you rev a motorcycle. But it has
Uh-huh.
like a setting, so you can make it easier or harder to pedal for like going up hills or whatever. But you have
Hmm.
all of this room to like it's not gear 1, gear 2, and if you need in between you can't have it. No, you can adjust it like on a spectrum. It's actually pretty cool.
Huh,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah,
I've never seen that
That
before.
works for me.
I think it's pretty new. I gave it a whirl, and it's so much better than any other bike I've ridden that has speeds, except for this seat, that freaking torture seat. Oh my gosh.
I imagine you can get a different seat.
Although I've never found one that was actually genuinely comfortable. The only bicycle I ever had with a comfortable seat, it had a banana seat, and that thing was comfy. It was cushioned. I could ride it for a million years. But, just regular bicycle seats that have that thing that sort of looks like a dildo pointing the wrong way. I mean, what the hell is that?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, where it's wide where your butt goes, but then it has that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, I have seen some girls use that for things.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's more suspicious than a nun doing squats in a cucumber field. Sorry.
Banana seat.
Where they ever come up with that name anyway?
It doesn't look a thing like a banana.
I know.
It's more like a
No
loaf
clue.
of bread.
I am going to get a can of ginger ale. I will be right back.
That's what I'm drinking. So I'm sure I've mentioned before that my dad knows someone who grows weed, but they don't actually use it. They grow it for like the stems and seeds. I assume there's like a hybrid or a genetically modified, like freaking make of the right strain, whatever thing going on, Why am I not able to conjure up the right word for that? But you know what I'm saying? He's breeding weed, right? And just
Right.
throws away all of the actual leaves, the smokable stuff, just throws it away. My dad's
Oh
like,
my
Kate,
God.
take that. Kate will absolutely take that off your hands. And so we've been talking about driving up to Glover, Vermont to, pick up a bushel or 3. And we're probably going to do it like, I think it's Tuesday, might be tomorrow, actually. I'm not sure which. I have to ask again. But yeah, mind you, I can't have any for a while until my doctors say, all right, we're done testing. You have to be clean for a while, which really sucks because weed mellows me the hell out. But, at least I'll be picking up the stuff.
At the very least, you should be composting and using that for mulch and stuff. I mean,
Well, he
shit.
might be. I don't know if he's doing that, but the point is that he's just getting rid of it, like wasting all of this smokable weed. So, and I'm used to vaping, but I do have a bong and a pipe. So,
Yeah, I know. I probably mentioned it before, but I'm going to have to give that stuff a try. It's legal here.
right on.
Yeah, I still like to see it legal here.
Well, I absolutely recommend Grape Ape if you're into indica. I don't really have a favorite sativa, but Grape Ape is just the best.
What
Just-
I want something that's good against pain.
Yeah, the indicas apparently are the pain ones.
I know this much though that maybe it's an autism thing. I don't know, but it affects me differently. Where indica, I feel everything. It enhances everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but sativa is much more of a mood booster, where indica is actually like closer to an acid trip, at least for me.
Okay. I guess I'm going to have to experiment.
Like, let's put it this way, I can lie down on the floor or a bed or something after doing some serious indica, and I literally feel like I'm melting.
Ooh.
For those of you who've watched The Orville, I kind of feel like Yaphet. Just saying. Yaphet is a sort of gelatinous crew member.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if okay. Chances are good the Orville's never getting renewed. It's just gone on for so long. I'm sure most of the cast has moved on. But even if they get renewed, I have no idea what the hell they're going to do with Yaphet because Norm Macdonald, who did the voice, is dead.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Either
So
sideline the character, or they can have the character like divide and have a new voice.
something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Stinks though. One of the worst things they could do though is find someone who does impressions and do a Norm Macdonald impression.
No. Let's not.
I
Yeah.
mean, I remember when they changed actors during the real Ghostbusters, like they replaced Venkman.
That was a terrible recasting.
Yeah. Oh well, what you gonna do? Although it is kind of funny because like Bill Murray played Venkman in the movie, and in the real Ghostbusters, Lorenzo Music played Venkman. And then in the Garfield movie, Bill Murray played Garfield, who in the cartoon was played by Lorenzo Music.
Yep.
Just a bit of irony there.
Yeah.
Yep.
What kind of name is Lorenzo Music? Like, I don't know anyone whose last name is Music. It's kind of cool, but it's interesting and different. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I wonder if that was like a stage name or something.
Could be. Could be. Or it could just be an interesting family name. I don't know.
Well, looks like it might
I
just
mean,
be
hell,
an
for all we know, he has ancestors who like landed at Ellis Island, and they said, "There's no way we're calling you Musenko, so you're going to be Music from now on." You know.
Uh-huh.
looks like it might just be an interesting last name. Is Gerald David Lorenzo Music.
Hmm. Oh. I mean, I know a guy. I was raised by hippies, so my parents know a guy who changed his last name to Passion. And
Okay.
And actually, when my cousin got married to his husband, they both decided they were going to change their name to Gray because my cousin's white and his husband's black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Gray.
Yeah. There you go.
Their daughter's really cute. Basically, what they did was they took Will's sperm and Adam's sister, my cousin Valerie. They took her egg, found a host mother, and so while it's not genetically Adam's kid, it sort of is, and she's
Right.
totally was, and she's a kid. It really is. I might actually I'm going to San Francisco in a month or so, and we might meet up with them because they live in Oakland. Schedule permitting. So it'll be great to see both of them again and to meet the kid. But the picture, she's very cute.
I remember
Nice.
there was a girl
Nice.
in school that was named Precious.
Oh,
And
Aww.
apparently her mother was named Jewel. So
Oh
Precious
my.
Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I seem to remember, I think it was in How I Met Your Mother, there was a character named Precious, and she was a complete. Ugh, don't get me started. Yeah.
Can't say too much as to what her personality was like. I didn't really know her too well.
Mm. Yeah. Of course, it might not have been How I Met Your Mother. I can't remember, but there was a character named Precious who you'd never want to frickin' meet.
Okay. This.
Still, I do love that show. Like, okay, we all know that if you take away the laugh track, Ross from Friends is a complete psychopath. I'm wondering what other characters that would work for. I mean, Barney Stinson is already kind of a sociopathic narcissist, but I mean, without a laugh track, how much more horrible would he be, I wonder? And like, what other characters are like that, where they seem very funny when other people are laughing, but like Sophia from Golden Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Take away the laugh track, she probably sounds like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, she has an excuse, much like me. She's brain damaged and has very little filter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that. I thought she was just a jerk. But then I watched the first episode of the Golden Girls, and I'm like, oh, no. She had some sort of stroke or something, and now she vocalizes every thought.
Right.
Actually,
Also, I was raised by Sicilians, and she's, picture it, Sicily, 1840, whatever,
Right.
So I relate to her a little too well.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably really rewatch that series someday.
Well, there was a character that was like in the first season that they eventually like very quickly got rid of, who was like just this gay dude, and they treated him with like so much respect. And I have a feeling they got a bunch of letters from conservative people saying, get rid of this guy.
Oh, the black guy, correct? I can't remember his name.
Don't remember him being black, but it was like the first couple of episodes, and then he was gone. I remember him being like a slightly overweight white dude in a Hawaiian shirt, but it's been a very long time, so.
I don't know that I ever watched. They had another, or am I thinking a different group? No, Golden Girls, isn't it? No, it might have been Designing Women I'm thinking of.
Oh, see, I've never seen that one.
And they had a black guy, I think his name was Malcolm, something like that. Something, but he was gay, openly gay in the program. So, yeah.
No, native, yes, I am brain damaged. I had a stroke. It created a cavernoma around about my amygdala. I am absolutely, literally, medically brain damaged. I'm not even kidding.
So am I.
Okay.
My brain is technically scarred.
I'm well, hell, they used laser ablation. My brain has been cauterized, for fuck's sake. So yeah. Well, I didn't realize this because they said it was going to be an 8-hour-long operation, but the truth is that they spent about 7.5 hours with me in an MRI. Like the actual operation was, bip done.
Yeah, apparently I had a stroke at birth, which fucked up my brain.
I guess what that 7.5 hours was basically looking around to see where they had to do whatever it is they had to do.
Well, I mean, they knew where it was. They were really looking for the best pathway in.
Okay.
To cause the least amount of damage. So, apparently it was very quick.
Apparently, I'm guessing what probably also contributed to it was I started breathing before they pulled me out.
Oh yeah. So technically you drowned.
Yeah, I
as
was
well.
basically sitting in there drowning.
Took me an embarrassing long amount of time to realize that the navel is actually a scar.
Yeah.
Well, Tornado had his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying it wasn't quite enough.
Every time I'd have a contraction, his heart rate would stop because the cord would tighten.
Fun.
Yeah.
Did they? I forget. Did they eventually carve him out of you like a turkey?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Well, what had happened was I went in for a regular appointment, weekly appointment by that point, because I was only 2 weeks from my due date, I think it was. And they said my amniotic fluids were low. So they did an ultrasound and they're like, well, we can't find any leaks, but we're going to induce you anyway because your amniotic fluids are low. We don't want to leave them in there in case something happens.
Okay, then.
So they said as soon as they get a bed, they put me in a room and they start inducing me. Well, that means giving you a medicine called Prostin, which softens your cervix.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, apparently Prostin didn't agree with me. Within an hour, I was in full-blown labor contractions. And there was no way that I could wait. And they came running in to check on me after an hour because they had me on a fetal heart monitor and it was monitoring the contractions. And she looked at it and the nurse is like, why didn't you call us? I'm like, why? I'm just having cramps. No, you're in full-blown labor. You should have called us. I was like, oh, wow. I have periods that are more painful than this. Are you kidding me? So they set me up for an emergency C-section. So within a half hour, I was in the operating room and getting cut open.
Well,
So, yeah.
I'm confused though.
Mhm.
If your amniotic fluids were low, why didn't they just have you drink some amniotorade?
Ha 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 ha. Yes, Tornado.
What do you say?
He said, I apparently wanted out.
Hmm.
I don't think he understands it was an automatic function. It wasn't that he wanted anything. So
Yeah, it was more like your body wanted him out.
well,
And who could blame it?
there was no reason for them to induce me. I think part of it was also that we were due to have a hurricane that they weren't sure it was going to hit or miss, and they have to evacuate pregnant women and newborns off the island if they're in the ICU, NICU units. So
fun.
Okay,
he
so-
spent the first 4 days after birth in the NICU unit because he couldn't regulate his body temperature.
Apparently in the emergency unit like that, I was in one of those with all these IVs and stuff stuck in my foot. And apparently the kid next to me didn't have arms.
Oh wow!
Apparently he just had like
Hey.
little hands sticking out of it, like out of his shoulders.
So
Like this,
thalidomide
yeah.
then. Sounds like a thalidomide baby.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I've seen images of people, with, and that's exactly what they look like, is these tiny little nubby arms sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this Transgender Resource Center looks like it's just starting up. This would be great to get involved with.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems to me like they really ought to open a transgender slightly off to the side,
Yeah.
as opposed to a center.
Yep. Absolutely.
What about diagonally?
Well, that's the thing, is I have never actually met a bishop, but if I do, I'm going to have to check their credentials. If they don't walk diagonally everywhere, they're not really a bishop.
I've met quite a few, unfortunately, and most of them are assholes.
But do they walk diagonally?
The ones I knew did not. So they were what's the word I'm looking? Imposters.
Well, before she cacked it, I saw a picture of Queen Elizabeth who was standing on a tiled floor, and there was like a caption saying that she has like a bishop in check or some shit. Like if she moves this way, she'll take the bishop kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I've
I
seen
thought it
that.
was funny.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I mean, compared to Chuck, I really miss her.
King Chucky.
Yep.
Yeah, because I understand why Hitchens didn't like him.
I don't know. I never really paid a lot of attention. I just remember a lot of mostly fictional characters who were absolutely obsessed with Princess Diana. But other than that, I really haven't paid attention. Like, there's this whole dust up about some of the royal family giving up their titles and other people saying, "Oh my gosh, look at these traitors" or some shit. And there was this big family drama that everyone was going on about, and I was like, I don't care to learn the details at this point. It's a soap opera. Just leave me out of it, you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Real life soap opera.
Mm-hmm. Although I have to say, the soap opera that's playing itself out right now between Bobo and Margie is freaking hilarious. But like these, Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Yeah.
because
I haven't been paying attention.
like Margie wanted to introduce articles of impeachment against Biden. Of course, they're completely frivolous. It's just a way of counting coup. And then Bobo gets in ahead of her, and then they get on the floor of Congress and like they're calling each other bitches. They were this close to tugging on hair. It was hilarious.
Oh my.
I thought they were all tight earlier.
Well, apparently not, because they're like these high school drama queens where, Bobo stole Margie's limelight, apparently, and she's really angry about it.
Oh, jeez.
There's also some video I saw recently where Trump was getting off a plane and Margie was there like waving at him and he completely snubs her. He acts like she's not even there. And she walks off like she still has that smile on her face, but you can see in her eyes she's like, what the fuck? Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really, I mean, watching them just fall apart is very entertaining.
Oh.
I wish they didn't wield any power, but it's still hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yeah, that's the problem, is that they have power.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, it's like every time one of their own gets in trouble, they have to go after the other side to like get some of their own back. They just have to. I mean, did you see how pissy they got about Hunter Biden accepting a plea deal? And they're all like, no, he should be in jail for decades. And it's like, for what?
Yeah, really. Tax misdemeanors? Good Lord.
But if they don't get their pound of flesh, it's not fair.
And even after being guilty, he's like, okay, I'll pay it back. Here you go. Basically, that's basically what he did.
But they desperately needed the satisfaction of taking down one of the other side. And of course, they're only really doing it to obstruct. I mean, now they're trying like hell to tie it all to Joe. And it's so not working out for them. But, I mean, seriously, it is hilarious to watch these people do it. I just wish it couldn't actually affect anything for real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so funny when Boebert, when she introduced the articles of impeachment, she got 2 votes, literally 2. Right? But then it was introduced again, and apparently it passed or something. I don't remember exactly how that went. But no, seriously, the first time she just embarrassed herself, humiliated herself in public. It was delicious.
What was the second one?
I'm not sure exactly how it worked. I mean, like, I just saw a few headlines and went, you know what? I'm beyond caring at this point. I mean, seriously, aside from the comedy value, I do not give a shit.
Marjorie Taylor Greene wanting decorum and the.
Oh, and did you see her like totally flip out? And she's like, "You can't do that. You're attacking my character." When all they're doing is showing what she actually said.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even commentary. They're just saying, "Look at what she said and how inappropriate it is," and she couldn't take it and got totally overruled when she objected too.
Thinking Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene are in a contest for who can be dumber.
Oh gosh.
The problem is they're too stupid to know they're in the contest.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, how do those two keep getting elected? Like the electorate is looking at them and going, "Yeah, she's my guy." How does that work?
Well, the electorate has to be worse off than they are.
Well, and that's the weird thing about the conservatives and all of that is they worship anyone who's above them on the social hierarchy, regardless of how that person treats them, because as far as they're concerned, well, they're higher up on the pyramid. They get to do what they like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that conservative hierarchical mindset. I really do. Kind of makes me wish I could become one of the 1% and then just start giving all the money away and telling them, dude, why aren't you doing this? You know?
Yeah.
Or become Batman.
Well, honestly, if I was going to go that way, I'd prefer Iron Man.
Hmm.
I mean, at least he can fly.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, God, I watched the Green Lantern movie, the one with Ryan Reynolds. It wasn't as bad as people say. But the one moment that I absolutely loved is he shows up as Green Lantern to like an old family friend trying to pretend it's not really him. And she goes, "What? Do you think I can't recognize you just because you covered your cheekbones?" Like, finally, you know?
Yeah, really.
Oh no, that movie wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was terrible if you're a big old fan of Green Lantern and know what the hell's going on, but as a complete noob, I thought it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, Green Lantern's never really been top tier on my list, so I guess maybe that's.
Although I gotta say, I loved Shazam. That was such a fun movie.
I haven't seen those yet, so.
The second one wasn't as good, but it's not as bad as people say. And it had a very touching moment in there where one of the kids comes out to his family and they're all like, "Yeah, we know," and just move on. You know, he's like, "Oh," because you can see it on his face. He's like, "I thought I was about to have to deal with this, but everyone knew." You know, it was actually
They
kind of
don't give a shit.
yeah.
There was a scene like that in Pride.
I thought you were going to describe it, but I know you're worried about spoilers too. So
I'm strongly suspicious that one of my cousins is gay in a family that's a whole bunch of homophobes. So I'm actually hoping he is, because he seems to be dealing with it fairly well.
but what if he wasn't? Wouldn't he still be dealing with it pretty well?
Say it.
Well, if he's not gay and he seems like he's dealing with life pretty well, I mean, I don't get it. Why do you hope he's gay?
Well, I mean, just have someone on my side.
Oh,
Well, I found out one of my cousins was gay. We were having a family dinner, and she was sitting next to me and talking about, "Oh, I'm dating this girl, and but I'd still like to have kids." Interesting way to find someone who's gay, huh?
I guess. I'm not really sure when I found out my cousin Adam's gay.
I don't know, maybe it was more interesting because it was only like a few days prior to that. I was thinking, it's oddly enough, if I don't know any in my family who's gay or anything, and statistically that seems kind of odd.
Well, you know what? I think my family got all of them. Because seriously, on my dad's side of the family, let's see, Adam, just like 7 or 8 of us.
Because I have between from my mom's side of the family, it's 7, and my grandfather had 7 kids, and they had 27 grandkids.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of odd that I didn't know anyone who was gay at that moment.
That's just way too many kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
How do you, well, okay, I guess it was probably yonks ago, but I was like, how do you afford that many kids?
well, he actually managed to come away with being kind of wealthy. Well, got into real estate.
Ah, that'll do it.
But apparently he was talking about how he used to ride a motorcycle and he got into a motorcycle accident, and my grandmother was the nurse. That's how they met. So he was talking about how he was riding a motorcycle, has the 7 kids there, has all the grandkids. Doesn't see what happens. And the moral of the story is, don't ride motorcycles.
Okay.
Actually, it's funny. There's a joke I remember from childhood where it's one of those jokes where you string it out for like a half hour if you can. You know, where it was basically about a guy who heard a joke and it was really offensive, and so everyone rejected him. And he keeps asking, like, people ask, well, why did your family reject you? And he says, because of this joke. And they're like, what was the joke? And he tells them, and they get offended. And so every time he meets a new person, you have to start at the beginning. I told the joke to my family, they rejected me. I told the joke to a friend, they rejected, and you start over every time he meets a new person. It ends with him like on a prison island, like married to this woman who he finally says, I'm going to tell you what the joke was, but I don't get why it's so offensive. And he tells her the joke. She says, oh, that's very funny. Tell you what, go home, eat your dinner. I'll explain it to you when I get there. And he enthusiastically runs home and gets run over by a car on the way. And the moral of the story is always look both ways before crossing the street. So everyone's like, oh my God, you son of a bitch. You just wasted a half hour of my life for that. Because the whole joke is you're messing with people. It's sort of like a clean version of the Aristocrats in a way.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm getting velcroed by a dog.
Oh,
Velcroed?
Yeah, dog has to be in physical contact with me right now
Oh.
in some form or fashion.
Okay, this is annoying. Somebody on Steam messaged me and now I can't find it.
oh no.
I don't even know what, like, Steam's interface is a little brain dead. I don't know. It's funny. This guy, I met him through that VR game I was playing a lot. And he goes by Half Dan. And most people are like, what, you're half of a guy named Dan? I don't get it. But the very first time I met him, I was like, oh, like Half Dan the Black from Eric the Viking. And we became instant friends because he's like, thank you, someone gets it. It was like, so ever since then, like, yeah, me and Half Dan have been friends. And now I can't find what the Frelly said to me.
Oh man.
Escape from LA.
Oh, it's not a very good one. Escape from New York is better.
I'm not sure if I've seen either of them all the way through.
Well, I mean, Escape from LA felt like Escape from New York, but bad. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It was, when a movie just feels manufactured, like it was written by a conveyor belt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go find denture adhesive. Damn it. Oh,
But it reminds me of a meme I saw recently where it just said, it's over, Trumpers. Go home and wash your tooth. Or brush your tooth, because they're inbred rednecks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, you look at their like photos of MAGA people. You're like, that one where it shows people who are just so horribly rednecky, and a lot of them are overweight, and it says, I can't believe these people think they're the master race. These guys are genetically superior, my ass, kind of deal. I mean, it is kind of funny when there's like groups of people who insist up and down that they have to keep their bloodlines pure, which is a sure way to introduce imperfections and irregularities into a bloodline. It's just crazy pants.
Yeah. Don't understand how genetics works there.
I mean, I'd say everyone should fuck everyone till we're all the same color, but unfortunately that means you'll all get my hair. But, Honestly, if there was anything I could change about my genetics, it'd be hair. My hair sucks so freaking hard. You have no idea.
I think.
I do have some idea.
Mm,
I do get the frizzy hair thing.
yeah. I don't know. I'm just sick and tired of looking like the before part of the Princess Diaries. Yeah, well, I'm not even kidding. It's about that bad. You remember when he's like brushing her hair, the stylist dude, and the brush breaks? Well, I haven't exactly had that happen, but I've been within screaming distance of that happening.
Oh no.
I hate my hair so much. You have no idea.
Oh my, yeah. This is a real pain in the arse when some of my stuff is in Pittsburgh and the rest of my stuff is I haven't the slightest idea where.
You'll
Yeah.
get yourself situated. Don't worry about that too much.
Well, I have the feeling I'm not getting my stuff back, but I want
Well,
to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
the worst case scenario, you need to replace some things.
Well, some of those things, many of those things are irreplaceable.
Yeah.
I've been through that as well. 2005, I lost quite a bit of my belongings.
There were some like movies that I really cared about that went missing on one of my moves. Probably other things too.
Yeah,
But I made sure that anything that was genuinely precious to me stayed under my control all the time.
yeah. After basically, the whole house had a mold problem, so it had to be gutted. And we didn't really have any place to put all our stuff, so we had to have some of it out in the carport, and we just kind of covered up with tarps. But the whole process lasted
Mm.
a lot longer than expected because that was the time when we got hit by 3 hurricanes in a row, basically, in
I
2005. I don't know if you remember what 2005 was like, and that basically
I
destroyed a lot of
was.
my and that basically destroyed a lot of my things. And my mom went into some kind of weird rehab thing and came back, like broke her foot, and then died.
Oh,
And then after that, my uncle, moved in with me when we finally got the house somewhat in order to be able to live in, and then he started throwing out a bunch of my stuff as too. That
oh,
was
good
really
lord.
that was really important. Like almost most of my Christmas site stuff, he threw all
Mm.
that out behind my back, and then lied to me but to my face about it. I'm still
Oh
pissed off
boy.
at him for that.
Mm.
did you throw him out?
Yes, I did. He was also doing a lot of heavy drinking and stuff.
Oh, well, good. At least you got rid of him.
So, can you draw a connection for me? Because I didn't quite get. Broke her foot and died. Were those two connected?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
We're not really sure what she died of. I'm thinking she probably went into a coma from diabetes.
Well, it was just a bit of a leap, is all. I was like, is there a connection there? Because I don't get it.
No, she broke her foot on Christmas, and she died like a couple months later or a month later.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, on a cheerier note, it seems like Columbia has started enjoying catnip finally.
All
She used
Oh,
to
cool.
right.
turn her nose up at it, but I pulled out the little thing I have of catnip, and she like tried to bury her face in it, and I was like, wow, you know.
Up there. Sylvester tends to bite at catnip. It doesn't make him mellow, it makes him playful,
Uh
My
huh.
my
which
first
is
cat
really odd.
my first cat would switch between the two, so it should be the oh lovey, oh I love this tack.
Yeah.
My cats are more the roll around on the carpet types.
Loki was like that.
Tayo kalasto.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, I should write a note to the people at the other
Oh,
dialysis.
there it is.
I promised I'd keep in contact with them.
Stop trying to suck on your.
Finally found where
foot.
that message from Halfdan got to.
I'm trying to keep Molly from chewing on her foot.
Okay.
I think it might be some kind of anxiety thing with her from possibly from being in the shelter and all that, or she started that fairly early when after I got her. She'll start scratching her face, and then she'll start licking her, cleaning her foot, and then that turns into her sticking her
Chewing
whole
on
foot.
it.
Yeah, sticking her whole, chewing on it, and then I have to pull it out of her mouth, and she tries to go back to it.
Well, Miranda would scratch at her neck until she had an open wound for 13 years. And I have a feeling that was because she was so neurotic.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this whole thing with her foot is just an anxiety thing that she's developed, possibly from.
Okay, that's been paid.
What was really strange about Miranda, though, I was going on HRT at the time. And when my anti-androgen was finally up to a therapeutic dose, she quit with the scratching. I don't know if there was a connection or not.
Don't know.
Xander and Columbia have been chasing each other around recently. It's usually Xander chasing her, but I saw her going after him once. And he has this like gigantic scab up by one of his left ear, or I think it's his left ear. I'm not sure. By one of his ears. I was like, wow, did Columbia get a good one on you? Because usually you're the fighter, Xander.
It's a possibility.
Of course, she's usually not amenable to the idea of the whole like wrestling with each other thing. So Xander's almost inevitably the initiator unless he gets too close when she's not receptive. So I don't know exactly what happened. I just know he's a little bit wounded and it looks like Columbia did it.
Okay. P.O. Sam, you're moving to Arizona. Another friend of mine moved to Tucson a couple years ago from Pennsylvania. I know sometimes I wish I could go there, but other times I understand that there's no water in Arizona, so it's not easy to live there.
Also, I'm pretty sure they pronounce it Tucson.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, actually, I forget if it's Tucson or Phoenix. Well, I know I've been to Phoenix. I might have also been to Tucson. It's not too different from San Diego. It's just there's no ocean.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I heard someone from that area pronouncing it Tucson, and then somebody else who had moved there was laughing at me when I indicated that that was the case. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, I keep trying to explain to my dad, who really has mostly only lived on the East Coast, that it's not called Oregon. And if you call it Oregon in Oregon, there's a very good chance you'll get punched.
Okay, then.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, look, it's like Dragon, not Polygon.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah.
I don't know. Well, some of you kids have already told me I'm working my way across the country. What I'm waiting for, I suppose, is in a year or two I'll end up in Estonia. That I'm moving east like this.
Molly's laying on her back while I'm petting her belly, and she's got one of her front paws stretched out towards out, and she looks like looking at it like my paw is so big.
I can see the music. I don't know. I mean, like I've been high, I've been on acid and all of that, but I've never been in see the music mode. It just never happened.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looked like, and now she's getting kind of playful.
Oh,
She takes her belly rubs very serious.
Mm. Oh. Oh, he
oh,
smells.
Bushamoy.
But
Hmm?
I don't know.
Yeah. What?
Whenever you say
What?
Bushmoil, it usually means something bad happened.
No, I just yawned.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
do you see it?
I
Are you
really
going to
thought
drink
it'd be
it?
fun, and it's difficult to do it, but I thought it'd be fun to look up essentially the equivalent of oy vey in every language. I mean,
Yeah.
Bouger moi, whatever it is, sounds like that. Ai ya in Chinese.
Yeah,
Um,
it put it. Well, Bushamoy is literally, my God.
well, I mean, but the point is that like I've been trying to find the oy vey of every language, and when I say that to people, a lot of them don't even seem to understand what I mean. Oh,
What happened?
I don't know.
What did happen?
What?
It sounded like somebody got cut off somewhere by the system.
No?
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry.
Nah.
Now, oy vey is literally oh pain, isn't it?
Well, it's not the point. It's the the thing you say when something goes a little bit wrong.
Right, right.
That. So the literal meaning has nothing to do with it. It's what culturally, like the cultural version of oy vey, in each culture.
Yes, yes.
So
An expression of dismay or grief.
Oh my.
There you go. Oh. Oh, he smells it. What? What? Are you gonna go spastic on me again?
Yes.
Yes, that's your foot. Uh-huh.
Molly,
What?
that is the cleanest
Oh.
foot in the world. You don't need to clean it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today he's rubbing on the catnip, going, oh my goodness. What?
I finally
What?
figured out that it really is just schmutz that's on Columbia's nose like that. But like every now and then she
Oh.
develops this black spot on the tip of her nose. And I was never sure what it was. It sometimes looked like a bad scab, but no, she's just a sloppy eater.
Poor, yeah,
Oh
that or
my.
she's got snot in her nose.
No, no, it happens after she eats. I guarantee you it's cat
Oh.
food.
Okay.
Synesthesia is a whole bunch of fun.
Mm. That's
I
where
can-
your senses are overloaded, correct?
They're overlapping.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I experience synesthesia. I can taste colors.
Oh,
Hmm.
fun.
I can taste the sound of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
I see dead people.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
Oh, jeez.
has anyone seen the show Happy? I think it's based on a comic.
No.
Basically, it's a down on his luck ex cop whose like daughter he doesn't know he has gets kidnapped by this sort of like psychotic Santa Claus guy, and her imaginary friend comes and finds him and gets him to go find her and rescue her. Now, at first, of course,
Oh,
because
boy.
he's like this massive drunk, he thinks he's just hallucinating. But it
Uh-huh.
turns out that the imaginary friend is real and is really trying to
Oh.
help him. It is one of the bloodiest shows I have ever seen. I mean, seriously,
Okay.
it is brutal.
I've been
And,
meaning.
and yet it's hilarious with Patton Oswalt playing Happy, the imaginary friend, this purple flying unicorn. Well, technically, it's not a unicorn, it's an alicorn, I think. I think an
Yeah.
alicorn is the one with the horns and the wings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an alicorn.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to see that show.
It's fun and it's hilarious, but like I say, it is brutal. I mean, seriously, blood like you wouldn't believe.
Hmm.
The whole
Sounds like
sixth
my kind of film.
that whole Sixth Sense thing, I always imagine in them doing a sequel to that years later. Get Haley, Hallie Joe will to come back to reprise the role. Well, like years later, he's been helping dead people out for all these years now, and see how his life has been, and since then.
Hmm. Oh, you mean Sixth Sense or
Yeah,
whatever?
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen Haley Joel Osment recently?
Mm-mm.
He looks like a fire plug. Like you look at him as a
Hmm.
young kid, and he's this wispy little thing, and then you look at him now, and he looks kind of like a squat teddy bear.
Yeah, it kind of looks doughy.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was in an episode of The Boys, which was the first time I'd seen him in ages, and it took a moment to recognize him. Yeah.
You know that is supposed to be someplace for you to climb in and sit, not
That-
play.
That's happened a lot recently. Like actors that I knew or even was a fan of end up on shows where I haven't seen them in decades, and it takes me 2 or 3 episodes to realize it's them. Like in Stranger Things, when Paul Reiser showed up, it was only his voice that clued me it was him. Watching Orange Is the New Black, I had no idea that was Captain Janeway playing the Russian cook. Like seriously, it took 2-3 episodes. Like I saw her name in the credits. I was looking for Janeway, and it so looked nothing like her. Plus, the Russian accent did not help.
Mm.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize his Haley Joel in The Boys either.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was him because I could actually tell it was his face despite the beard, but wow. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Have you seen that meme where they show the picture of Wesley Crusher as an adult, where they like someone aged him? I think it was Q aged him to an adult, and he's like this big beefy fella. And then they show Will Wheaton today, and it's just night and day.
Oh, that was Riker when Q gave Riker Q powers.
Right. Oh, I mean, it was. I don't know. It was a funny meme. I actually think that Will Wheaton now looks better than the adult version on TNG, to be honest. But are you just saying bye to Half Dan? I didn't tell him I was in live stream. I probably should have, but
Let me bookmark this place because I want to.
let me see.
I want to contact them.
Ah, yeah, there it is. Let me get that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of imagining with a sequel, him growing up, have the scary ghost who's been with the mutilated features. There's pop up out of nowhere. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've been through this already.
That's and then yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
So we saw him starting to help out those ghosts. It was near the end of the movie as he started to get the knack for it. So I imagine what that'd be like, carrying that out from years later. That's kind of how I imagine the show being. Maybe have maybe he runs into another person who has the same abilities or something. Another kid with the Sixth Sense or something.
I wonder, how do you tell necessarily?
Tell what?
I don't know. Well, you never really see him walk through any of these people, do you, in the movie? I don't remember. And like, if you meet someone else who has the same ability, I mean, for all you know, you've already met someone. They just didn't bring it up. You know, like how do you tell someone else can see dead people just like you unless you're in some situation where you both make reference to something the ghost said? You know what I mean?
Well, if I imagine, let's say you have it where he's sitting there, he's talking to a ghost, and then the kid he sees the kid noticing the ghost.
Hmm.
That might be a good indicator.
Well, you know what they need to do is they need to do a crossover between The Sixth Sense, Ghost, and Ghostbusters.
Hmm.
I could
That would
see
be
that.
interesting.
I could definitely see that.
Um, Man, you ever stop and think about like movies they totally couldn't make today that they made yonks ago because it was socially acceptable to do some of the stuff they did?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I
Even simple stuff, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I remember Spielberg saying, I never would have had Richard Dreyfuss leave his family like that if I'd been older making the movie.
Hmm.
Mm,
Although
I
his
don't know.
family was a bunch of jerkwads.
I think sometimes we get a little bit too uptight about what we can and can't do in movies, though.
Mm, yeah.
Apparently, there's been some people bitching about the latest this Final Fantasy game.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
what?
Well,
why?
apparently there's some themes of slavery in it, and there's too white.
Well,
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
good
I've
Lord.
I've heard of people bitching about like movies and stuff where something is portrayed as a bad thing, and yet they're still like, yeah, but you made a movie about it. And it's like, yeah, they're the bad guys, dumbass. And they're like, but you still made a movie about it, you know?
Yeah,
Are you talking about Endwalker?
I don't
Final
know what that
Fantasy
is. Oh.
15 or
I
14
think
Endwalker?
uh, it's I think it's one of the newest one they did.
That would
Okay.
be, or are you talking
16.
16? I haven't seen 16 yet.
Does anyone else find it just a little incongruous to call it Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
there have been jokes about that.
Hmm. And have you heard like the whole sort of fanboy hand wringing about the character in the new Fable game?
Mm-mm.
Because apparently she's not attractive enough.
Oh,
Mm.
good Lord.
Yeah, well, I mean, hold on. I can't. Nah, the cord won't stretch far enough. You need to get that whole meat working again so I can just share imagery.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
I want to get the stuff and I want to move downstairs. This way I can set everything up and go on to meet and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I gotta change which tab that's using so I can actually do this. All right, so apparently that's not attractive enough for the neckbeards living in mom's basement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that she is kind of fugly.
Well, I mean, also I'm pretty sure that's just a bad shot. Like a bad angle. I'm just saying, it's like that's a terrible expression, and just, I mean, there's got to be a better image. Of course, you got to admit, like, yeah, okay, I can see why they'd whinge about her not having like big tits because they're gamer bros, but still.
No, the body didn't look that bad, but I don't know about that face. I hope it's just a bad angle.
Well, I mean, that's not as bad right there.
That's not. Yeah, that's not as
I
bad.
don't see
I mean,
anything wrong with that.
she's not a supermodel like all these guys probably desperately need, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, it's like, what is it not okay to have a female main character that you don't think is fuckable? Is that what it is?
Mm.
I don't know.
It's like, hey, you can't have a character who looks like that. She's not fappable. What the hell? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure that's part of it.
I suppose if you want to be looking at a character for 16 hours, well, at least something you enjoy.
Well, I mean, there's enjoy, and then there's give you a Woody. There's a difference.
Oh, for some guys, I'm guessing there isn't.
Well, guys are weird. I don't get it either.
Yeah, I don't understand, guys. I don't. And I used to be one. That's the damn thing.
Well, I
Well,
thought
I wasn't when I was
so good.
trying.
You're
Well,
trying.
and then someone decided, oh, we're gonna make a virtual fix of it, and turned her into this like porcelain doll, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That still doesn't really
And
work
Oh
that
my.
I don't know. I mean, at the very least, keep the ponytail, please.
great. Yeah.
I like the ponytail. I'm sorry, I've always had a thing about
Mhm.
ponytails.
Not sure if I would consider that a fix.
Well, neither would I, but still. I mean, point being, I think I don't know, just the dude bro hand wringing over Fable 4. It makes me want to buy and play the game just to, like in protest. I mean, I remember playing the original Fable. It wasn't bad, although it was pretty, like, well, primitive because it came out a long ass time ago.
Maybe just have a character creation so you can create the look of your own the character how you like the look.
Well, and apparently there was like some other game. I don't think this is Final Fantasy with a character who looked like that. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? She kind of looks Irish or Scottish. What the hell?
Mhm.
I mean, I don't see the problem. Yeah, she's not a supermodel, but she's not ugly.
Yeah, that's from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Never heard of it.
Rather pretty.
Well, that's who the one you just showed with the white with the piece in her ear.
I understand that. I've just still never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Come to think of it, okay, has anyone played the Fable series? Because I only played the first one, and I don't know if you need to like learn all of the world building to play 4.
I have the first one on my Steam wish list. I haven't played it.
I mean, I see something here. It says Fable Anniversary. I'm assuming that's a revamp of the first one.
One thing I do kind of agree with is kind of silly is games going with is body type A and body type B instead of male and female.
Okay.
That gets a little silly, I think.
I mean, why though? I like take for example, Cyberpunk 2077, right? You could choose an obviously biologically female body and give it the man voice, and vice versa. I don't have
Fine.
a problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine. But if you're going to have a body type that's obviously female, biologically female, well, why not just say female?
Well, for the same reason as like say Cyberpunk 2077 didn't bother.
Yeah,
I mean,
but if you don't have that feature of swapping, what?
Well, why not? Why not have body type A or B or whatever? Why not?
I got hungry.
Oh, merciful Zeus! I am so not paying $35,000 for the revamped table.
Take it as a compliment.
I think that if I buy a Fable game, it is absolutely going to be a
I
later
have to
one.
do some more. I have
That's
to do
way
some
too much money.
I mean, I've got the Instant Pot. I can do the cooking.
Yeah, I'm not paying that much money for that fucking game. Besides, I started playing Surviving Mars again.
Oh, I miss playing that game.
Did you buy the terraforming pack?
I don't think so. I don't remember doing it.
It's kind of neat. Eventually, you don't even need domes really. But like I'm running out of resources. Like I keep having to build new domes just because the deposits I've been mining are running out. So But they have this like trains pack now where you don't necessarily have to build like domes just to connect to resources that are too far away. You can actually, it's very easy to transport goods and people by train now. It's pretty cool.
Whoa. I always had trouble connecting passages to domes.
Hmm. Yeah, that system is kind of a shambles,
Hmm.
but it's not as necessary anymore.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'd like to rebuild the computers I had, and then I'd like to build the new one. But I think I'd need to move downstairs first.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Good, 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 good. Let's see. I mean, I'm wondering what other packs don't I have? I remember there was something I didn't bother buying because it was like purely cosmetic or something. It didn't add to the gameplay. Some of it's just music.
Hmm. Oh my.
Like I only want to buy DLC if it actually enhances the game in some fashion, like adds gameplay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, weird. See, I don't think I want to buy this one where you go underground. That just seems, I don't know. I did end up buying the Project Leica where they can have pets, but it doesn't change anything. There's just pets in the dome. They don't add anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I once wanted to build an underground house.
Hmm.
I don't know if that would have worked out or not.
Deluxe upgrade pack.
What?
I don't know. There's something about a deluxe upgrade pack, but I don't know what it adds. Oh, it looks like it's just customization. Yeah. Oh well.
Wait.
What's this? Huh. It's another game by the same people called Surviving the Aftermath, and it seems to be like, oh, the world is over, destroyed, and now you have to build a colony on this dead Earth kind of deal.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I could have
Oh,
fun.
yeah, sounds like an absolute blast.
I could have fun with that. I'd like
I,
to find. Yeah, I'd like to find a medieval version of that.
hmm. Well, I mean, I have to admit, I do enjoy the post apocalypse genre quite a bit, in fact. But
And Molly's tossing around one of her favorite chew toys. I just hope she doesn't try and throw it on my foot. It's one of
I
those
don't
hard
know.
ones.
Well, I know that now I could not survive the apocalypse, but I wonder if I could have earlier.
well, the question is A, what kind of apocalypse? And two, would you even want to?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when the apocalypse comes, I'm dead. I know that because technology's gone and can't support my
Mm.
missing organs.
Well, there's that too, but I mean, is it a nuclear apocalypse or does society just collapse and everything turns into roving street gangs or what? I mean, it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I was and I have been working on a zombie apocalypse type story, and I had thought of people like in your situation, and who depend on technology, who might not be able to get that anymore. You I thought that might be an interesting avenue to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Could it be an alien apocalypse?
Because if they think about it in those zombie movies, and all that, you don't really see too much of people in your situation where they have to deal with medicines and stuff that they can't get anymore.
Mm.
Yeah. I hate the idea of having to kill myself because number one, it might hurt, and number two, it might go wrong.
So you're saying it's better to kill other people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you're hungry enough, which
No,
I
just
mean,
ask
I
the
think of it would
counterparty.
not necessarily be something that I mean, yeah.
God, I remember I was listening to World War Z on audio.
Mm.
There was a scene, a chapter in it where somebody it was like a series of interviews after the apocalypse in the book, totally different from the movie.
Mhm.
And there was one where they were interviewing this girl who in the group, they were in the camp that she was in, they were starting to starve to death, and all of a sudden their parents came back, hey, with this really good stew.
Oh.
There's a movie called Parents. It's like from yonks ago, and it had oh gosh, what's his name? Randy Quaid in it as the dad. And basically, what it is, it's this kid who's being raised with cannibal parents, right? And it's sort of like a
Mhm.
horror comedy. And spoiler alert: at the end of it, the parents die, and the kid gets fostered to his grandparents, who clearly are cannibals too. But
Oh
like
Um,
the
dear.
whole movie, they keep feeding the kid like dead people and trying to pretend that's not what's happening.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Like I saw when I was really young. It was creepy as hell, but
Which movie
in
was
that
that?
fun way. It's called Parents.
Parents.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
It sounds familiar.
Mm.
And I'm betting that the kid ends up disappearing in the end because they
Not
were
you don't
fattening him
know.
up to feed grandma and grandpa.
Well, he ends up with grandma and grandpa, and it
Mhm.
ends like you don't see much. It's kind of like the end of Time Bandits, where it's just
Mhm.
that grandma and grandpa are cannibals too, and that's it. That's the
Mm.
end of the movie. You don't know what happens after that.
Mm.
Rinse, repeat.
Mhm.
Yeah,
How you
basically.
could
Parents.
Whew,
So I'm gonna
Goodness.
look that up.
Oh man, I want.
1989.
I want to get all my stuff together, and I want to move downstairs.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, this looks really familiar.
Mm.
So have they started working on cleaning that out yet?
Not that I know of.
Oh,
Oh,
that's ridiculous.
Sector scan.
Oh.
To be found.
Young boy living in 1950s suburbia and suspects his parents are cannibalistic murderers.
yeah, because the topography around here was great for riding a bicycle, so I'd really like to work my way up to it.
Mhm.
Well, I
So,
hope you get the
saying
chance.
you want to ride your bicycle?
I want to ride my bicycle. Yes,
Yes.
And you want to write it now?
yes.
Why do
What?
I feel like the reference is being missed?
I think she is missing it.
No, I simply want to ride my bike.
Yes,
Oh
and
yeah. Yes. Queen.
yeah.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it now.
No? All right.
Okay, I don't get it.
It's a song from Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the words are, I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it now.
I want to ride my bicycle.
That was Tom, right?
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy,
Yeah. Hello.
There we go.
So,
Hello.
we got all the fun people here.
Yup. But hopefully you will get a call tomorrow.
I hope. I
I
really
hope.
do. I want. Oh, you have no idea how much I want
Oh,
to be wrong.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I think we have a bit of an inkling.
Yeah. But I am going to head off. I have got to start working on doing some dishes before I do dinner tonight. So lots of fun. Joy.
hey,
And I'm not
Yeah.
entirely ready to leave, but I am thinking I might want food soon.
Yeah. Well, it's
When
going
should
on
it be good?
3:00, so dinner is going to be in a couple hours. And I am going to be making a possibly easy cheeseburger pie since I didn't make it last night.
I'm going to be
I
cooking up.
Oh,
Sorry.
damn.
I'm going to be cooking up the other pork roast.
Oh, my.
This one's, I believe, is a peppercorn one.
Okay.
It was a pre-season. They're pre-seasoned. They're
Pre-seasoned,
from
right.
yeah. They were on sale, so I bought 2 of them. I ate the apple bourbon one. No, I'm
How
gonna
was
make another.
that?
Good. What was it? What brand were those? Shoot. What brand was those? Can't remember what the
Smithfield?
brand. No, it wasn't Smithfield. I think it started with an H.
Hillshire?
It might have been Hillshire or Hormel.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Hillshire sounds more likely because I don't think Hormel does a lot of pre-seasoned stuff, but they might. So, all right. So I'm gonna head off, guys. Talk to you later. Bye
Have
bye.
fun.
Talk to you later, Tony.
Yep.
Okay,
Love
yeah,
you.
it was Hormel.
Oh,
Guys,
okay.
found it.
Okay. Well, I'll
Have
see
fun
you all
storming
later.
the castle.
Oh, most definitely.
I bought an Instant Pot so I can do some compact cooking.
Pot.
Mm-hmm.
I really do miss weed, actually, and not just for getting high. It seemed to really stabilize my mood a great deal. Like, every time I have to go off weed, I get so grouchy.
That's not good.
No. But, I mean, seriously, like, my relationship with my parents is a million times better if I can get high. Like, you have no idea.
Okay, I got some inkling. Oh my! Now it must be
Like,
nice.
I actually have a genuine excuse for it. It does help with the autism.
Okay, then.
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
Now you are. I will say that you were so lucky. I don't know. Maybe you were. Maybe you weren't. I wish I had some sort of relationship with those two. No, but he openly hated me, and she was not at all enamored of me either.
Well, sounds like you did have a relationship with him, just not a good one.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It could have been worse, I suppose, but that's not much consolation, is it?
Not really.
I think Molly wants me to put treats in her treat bone. She's sitting here holding it and licking at one end. do that later.
I wonder what it's like to grow up having parents.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, as much as my parents kind of weren't so bad, they're also. I mean, they spent a lot of time trying to make me fit a mold I was never gonna fit, just in terms of how I interact with people, because they
Yeah,
just thought I was a difficult kid. They had no real inkling that there was something wrong, even though I kept trying to tell them exactly what was going on. They just didn't want to listen.
yeah.
Oh, my mom was an alcoholic, a druggie, and had diabetes. It caused her brain to go wonky when she'd go into a diabetic reaction.
It's not a
But
contest.
the other, but she was actually pretty good with kids. That's actually
Mm.
one aspect she was really good at.
Yeah, who did I say this to earlier today? I think I suspect that those two had kids because they thought they were supposed to. I suspect they really didn't want kids, if you know what I mean.
Hmm. Still, I gotta say, save me from people's supposed tos.
Yeah.
So was really weird. One weird thing is my mom had this silhouette picture that she made. It looks like me when I was like a little kid about ready to suck my thumb. Thing is, she made that when she was like 13,
Oh my.
like years before she ever had I was even conceived.
Hmm.
I also wonder what it's like to grow up with your own parents rather than being adopted.
Yeah, that is an interesting question, isn't it?
I mean, if nothing else, it would help me be able to tell my doctors, like, yeah, I do have this underlying condition, inherited it from the parents. As it is right now, I'm a complete like genetic time bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, the looks. You've seen it. The looks on the doctor's faces when they ask you, "Do you have a family history of whatever?" Is I don't know. I'm adopted. It's like, oh no.
Well, see, most of my doctors are from places where they'd go, "Oh, I see."
Yeah, they've checked me for diabetes since my mom had it, but I've always come up clean.
Okay.
Then again, with my mom, I think it was had more to do with the physical aspect of it than anything, since she had an underdeveloped pancreas.
I also wonder what it's like to be raised by suburbanites rather than hippies.
Okay.
Well, no,
I wouldn't.
seriously, it's like I never had a chance to be normal. There was no way it was ever going to happen. I mean, left-handed, adopted, multiracial, lesbian, atheist, freaking brain damaged and autistic and all of this shit. I mean, like raised by hippies, there was no way I was having like a white bread suburbanite existence. It just wasn't possible.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell you about that. I also had hippie parents, so
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of ways I'm glad I didn't grow up, but still, I mean, because if I did grow up in a very like suburbanite kind of place, I mean, it'd be I don't know if I would have fit that either, and I might have been forced into like a Judeo-Christian mold for all I know, and that wouldn't have worked for me either.
Yeah. With me, those two tried. Yeah,
So.
you lucked out in that sense because your father wasn't religious, really, was he?
My dad was raised Italian Catholic and said, fuck that shit. And so while I was a kid, I watched him try lots of religions.
Mm-hmm.
But it was never forced on me or my mom. He was just on his own little journey. My mom usually went along with it because she didn't give a shit about being raised Jewish. But,
Mhm.
I mean, it was never forced on me. And I think that one of the reasons why I stayed an atheist is because I got to see so much of it and saw it was so loopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, both my parents came from Catholic families. My mom remained Catholic. My dad kind of developed this weird Buddhist deist thing, but he kind of taught me to question. So like I'm kind of like, oh, I believe X. Like, oh, why do you believe? And, kind of taught me how to question that way.
Research complete.
Yeah.
Even when I came up with him with something that he believed as well, he'd always get me to try and question it.
Now, I will admit sometimes that can be obnoxious. One of my friends from San Diego, he married this self-righteous bitch, and she decided to challenge everything someone said, everything. And I was like, eventually, it just started to feel like she wanted to start an argument. Like, I'm not even kidding. It seemed like she just I mean, I get accused of liking to argue sometimes, but I'm like, sometimes I just want to have a casual conversation with someone where I don't have to justify absolutely every fucking thing I say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a debate. God, I hated her.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, I hate the people who demand that you justify the axioms.
Molly,
Well, okay, here's the thing though. Sometimes people have axioms they shouldn't.
if you're gonna hand me your toy, could you hand it to me before you slobber all over it?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's like you look at the right wing and all the things that they think ought to be, and how many of them are actually good? You know what I mean? So it's like some axioms need to be challenged.
Well, remember now that within the system, you cannot challenge an axiom. I mean, it's something that's accepted as true because it appears to be true, and you just
Well,
fly with it.
that I kind of disagree with that definition just a little because any rational person can look at an axiom and know that it's just an idea.
Okay.
I mean, it's assumed that this is how it is, this is how it ought to be, this is how it always was. Yeah, but
Resources
that doesn't mean
online.
they're right. I mean, an axiom is an assumption.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, there you go.
I suppose that's an aspect where philosophy can become handy. You examine those axioms.
I mean, let's face it, there was a time when it was axiomatic that the sun went around the earth. Everyone accepted that. It was just the truth. And it
Yeah,
turned out to be
okay.
complete bulldrack.
Hmm.
Another slobbered on toy. That's
And
two she handed me.
there was a time I was trying to be Catholic, but once I tasted atheist, I couldn't have anything else.
Mhm.
It's just made sense.
Well, even if I had ever tried to be religious, I just could not get past the faith part. Wouldn't happen.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a difficult hurdle.
I mean, I mean, I joke about how, like, oh, I tried to use the force and it didn't work, so I'm not religious. But the truth is that I don't see any evidence of the supernatural anywhere in this world, and trying to use the Force was part of that. And when it didn't work, I was like, well, what else isn't magical out there? When I find out Santa Claus is false, there is no Easter Bunny or Tooth Fairy. At a
Mhm.
certain point, I mean, it all sounds like silly, like jokey kind of ways of mocking Christianity, but it's true. I don't actually I couldn't believe in stuff because the magic wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
claiming if you're going to claim that the supernatural is doing something, you got all the work ahead of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and part of it also is just that, I mean, the people that believe this stuff, they don't really seem to understand. Like I go, well, it's kind of loopy, isn't it? And they're all like, whoa, but it's true. You believe in God because you believe in God, and I'm like, but I don't. But like just the inherent assumption that everybody is religious in some way bothers the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
But you can't break past that.
Or how
What
about
gets me are the people who say, well, you can't believe that it isn't the case. You can't prove that it isn't the case. I said, yeah, right. But that's yet another reason to not believe it.
or
Well,
what
I,
was it?
I keep saying that God's PR team failed to convince me to buy their product, and that seems to boggle them quite a bit.
Or was a recent one I saw is atheists subconsciously believe in God.
Hmm. Why, yes, I subconsciously believe in Krishna. Thank you for asking. I mean, that's one of the most arrogant parts of Pascal's wager is the assumption that the Abrahamic God is the only one that counts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's definitely a problem with that Pascal's wager.
Hmm.
I mean, it's funny how many of these sort of jokey, stereotypical, atheist argument things are just completely valid, no matter how much they've become tropes.
Yeah. Oh my.
No, I don't want your slobbered on toy.
That is one of the reasons why cats are superior. Literally, dogs drool, cats rule. I mean, seriously, even when a cat licks me, it's generally pretty dry.
Yeah, I get to see both sides of the coin here, and definitely cats rule.
And I've never had a cat bite me and draw blood. Scratching, maybe, but those are pretty shallow. Dogs, on the other hand, well, you know my experience.
Yeah.
I've seen cats maul somebody before.
Really?
Yeah,
How?
claws and teeth.
But I mean, how do they manage to do that much damage to someone?
One of them I saw they got the person in the eye.
Oh, well, okay. That's not really a mauling, though.
And I've seen the teeth sunk in situation.
Now I have seen the fur fly, literally. I've seen two cats go to fighting, and there was fur in the air all through the room.
Yeah. And now Molly's chasing her tail because I wouldn't play with her toy.
Hmm. It's fine. I've seen Xander chase his tail from time to time. It's entertaining.
It is. Sometimes I encourage her by taking her tail and smacking her in the face with it.
One thing that's really fun is to like put a laser pointer on the cat's hindquarters and watch them try to attack their own self.
I say
Okay.
it's actually dangerous to use a laser pointer with a dog.
Is it?
Yeah, they can actually develop a something called laser pointer syndrome.
Okay. And this does what exactly?
Basically, they become obsessed with the red dot that they won't let it go even when there's no red dot. So they keep searching for it, and it'll result in them chasing like little spots of light or shadows, and it actually becomes stressful for them.
Cats are smarter than that.
It's just something about their brain wiring that they just can't let it go.
Oh my. Yeah, now I understand why I've always been a kitty person. I mean, puppies are great because they're so devoted, they're so loyal, and all that shit. But God, they can be stupid.
Research complete.
My first dog was fairly smart. And then again, it was fairly common for her breed, a Spitz Collie mix. Spitz tend to be fairly intelligent dogs. In fact, that's their trainability is a reason why circuses would often use Spitz dogs.
The heck's a Spitz dog? I'm not familiar with that.
It's a breed.
Oh.
In contrast, beagles tend to be a bit difficult to train because they tend to be so nose oriented. They just will tune out everything else besides what they're smelling.
So, okay.
So it can make certain things difficult to train them with, like such as recall all commands, and with her, I've struggled a little bit with the whole pulling on the leash because she'll start smelling something and want to go off and follow that scent. So it takes some different types of training to get them around that.
Oh, pushy.
And looks like my neighbors bought a bunch of new guns.
Oh, goody.
Eh. I don't know if they go out hunting or anything, but
So, okay, weird thought. Do you think people ever go out hunting with handguns instead of rifles?
oh yes, they do.
I think they do, yeah. Ah,
I know for a fact they do.
Okay.
I've known hunters.
I could just see going after big game with a 357.
Desert Eagle.
Okay.
I mean, like, okay, granted, I don't even know if it's a good gun or not. It's just very picturesque.
What?
The Desert Eagle.
Oh, it's a firearm. Okay.
Yes, it's a gigantic ass handgun.
Okay.
I mean, it is very pretty. It looks like RoboCop's gun, but I don't know if it's actually any good for its purpose.
I guess. I remember one type of gun that my dad usually he wanted to avoid at all costs was the Glock.
Why is that?
The safety he is on the trigger.
Okay,
So to release the safety, you have to press the trigger.
that's weird.
Yeah, there's a chance that you're trying to release the safety on the thing, and you could end up actually firing it. Or you're trying to engage the safety, and you end up shooting it.
Well, I'm still very amused by that one dude who's from the Proud Boys, the one who got like a bajillion years in jail, where he lost an eye because he was trying to prove he could shoot left-handed with something that ejected the shell right into his face. Like, seriously, that eye patch is not, hey, look at me, I'm a badass. That eye patch is, hey, look at me, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me and my love of Schadenfreude, but watching some dipshit get hoisted by his own petard makes me very amused.
I've been
Took
out
me a
shooting.
long time to even know what the hell a petard was.
Hmm.
When I found out, I was like, oh, it's just sailor shit. Okay, whatever. It's not that interesting. It was like I always knew what was meant by tilting at windmills, but when I found out why tilting meant jousting, I was like, what the why? I don't know.
Yeah, I've been out shooting with my dad before. He kind of got into collecting guns near the end of his life there.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, do guys just, when they get older, develop weird hobbies? I remember Patton Oswalt had this whole, routine about how when you hit middle age, a guy just gets really into World War II for some reason. You know, I like watching all these documentaries and stuff. Another thing I've noticed, a bunch of my exes and some of my friends, their fathers had these like little tiny, tiny dogs that they gave really fruity names like Taffy and stuff. I'm like, okay. I don't know, it's just weird. Like, it's this trend I've noticed with certain kinds of guys when they get older.
Anomaly found.
The readings told us it was a vein,
Любит достая.
but the data turned out to be incorrect.
What was that?
Surviving Mars.
Hmm.
I found some anomaly or other and decided that rather than taking the $500 million, I would in fact take the bonus for social techs, making them cost less.
Ah.
I don't know. I just started a new colony. Every time I do this, I get a little bit smarter about how I build my colonies until finally I can have something that might actually be self-sufficient.
I've been spending a lot of time watching through the Overlord series again.
Oh, you mean the wait? You said
Anime.
watching or playing?
Watching anime.
Well, because you remember.
There's a game. They're not related though.
Okay. How cool would it be if they were? I'd love to watch that anime.
That would be a good show. But yeah, this is about a guy. It's an isekai so the guy was like playing this MMO where he's this necromancer skeleton overlord character, and the server is going to be shutting down soon. So he's just kind of sitting there in his empty guild, only going, I wish. I'm kind of sad that my favorite game is gonna be shut down. He seems to fall asleep, or at least there's an implication he dies while he's hooked up, and he wakes up and finds that everything's come to life, and he's in a completely different in his entire guild has been moved to this new world,
Okay.
and he's now in the body of his character,
Hmm.
and all the NPCs that were created in his that when his guild have come to life.
Have you seen the movie Free Guy?
Yeah,
I like that movie, even if it is basically a ripoff of Tron. Or maybe because it's a complete ripoff of Tron. I mean, I love Star Chaser: The Legend of Orin because it's a complete ripoff of Star Wars.
I thought there were also some elements of the Matrix in that.
Maybe, I guess, a little bit, but let's face it, it's about a couple of gamer nerds who had their game stolen from them, and so they go into a virtual world to steal it back. I mean, come on, it's Tron.
I mean, from the perspective of the game character, it felt a bit like the Matrix.
I guess, I don't know. I see more parallels to Tron. But then again, I'm such a Tron nut, no wonder I do. And I really wasn't a fan of The Matrix.
Yeah, I definitely see the Tron aspects to it as well.
I mean, the truth is, like I try. There's a couple of movies where every now and then I give it another try to see if maybe I missed something, maybe it's actually good, and I can't. And The Matrix is one of those. The Austin Powers movies is another. Dune, the Lynch Dune. I love the new one. I did Blade Runner. That's another one. I can't get into it. I mean, a lot of people have told me, well, here's what Blade Runner's really about. Here's what it's trying to say. And I'm like, oh, because I learned that lesson when I was like, my age was still in the single digits when I realized that machines can be people. I mean, what the hell? You know, it's like I had this child's book called Klutz. It was about this kid who gets a used robot. I forget what it was like Combined Level Unit Type Z or something was the acronym Klutz. You know, it's all about like a kid making friends with a robot. So obviously, by the time I get to Blade Runner and actually watch it, I was like, well, doy, this movie isn't telling me anything new, and it's very slow. So, I don't know.
I like the first Matrix movie. The other two, I think, kind of dropped the ball.
I'm not sure I've ever even seen the third one. I own a copy, but I don't think I've ever seen it. Oh, and James Bond is another one I can't get into. I tried. I own the entire Sean Connery box set of James Bond. I watched up to like the third one, or it was like a movie or two past Goldfinger. I'm not sure, and I just said, "Oh, this is so boring."
Yeah. Well, since you aren't really interested in the Matrix, I guess it's not too worried about the spoiler here. By the end of the second one, he starts seeing the Matrix code in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have been more interesting if it had turned out to be that what they thought they were escaping into the real world was actually just another level of the Matrix.
I would have found that extremely annoying, actually. Like, that would be just sort of another, oh, it was a dream all along. Like, I remember seeing a couple of movies where it's like someone thinks they got out of the alien spaceship. Like, oh, good, I found the exit. And they open it up and there's just more ship, like infinitely more ship, and they're never getting out. I'm like, oh, what a cop out. You're rolling the credits after that shit? Fuck off. You know.
No, I just think it would have been interesting if they had done that, and then they by the end of the third movie, they actually escape.
I don't know. I think if they had done that at the end of the second movie, I never would have watched the third.
That's
like just out of sheer annoyance. I don't know. Oh, both of the cats are giving me that look, and I'm like, you have 45 minutes until the next feeding. You two better chill.
well, probably. I just think it would have made more sense the way they ended the second one. Is all.
They both clearly want their food. Although, come to think of it, I'm getting a little hungry.
I still gotta get the next video done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it edited together. I haven't rendered it yet, but
Hmm.
it's just kind of sitting in the editing bay. Needs to get rendered and get a screenshot and load it up. So gotta do that sometime today.
I haven't actually loaded any like video editing software onto my new computers because I am planning on working on a game for a while. I don't know when I'm going to make video again, but I should do some episodes of Head Meets maybe. I don't know.
That'd be
But at
interesting.
some point, I really do want to make a director's cut version of Quinn Redshift, or not director's cut, director commentary. I want to talk about the behind the scenes stuff and that kind of thing.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean the final cut was the director's cut. I just forgot the right
Yeah.
term.
Like, well, wasn't the director one putting it together?
Anyway, see, I think I am gonna go get some food in me and ignore the cats for about 45 minutes until it's time to feed them. So.
Alright.
I will catch you evil geniuses later, but before I go native, it's pretty nice. I'm glad to be back, actually, because most of the reasons I left Vermont are now non-issues. So.
Enough.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't regret it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to be back. Anyway, I'll see you evil geniuses later. Have fun.
Take care, honey. Love you.
Later.
I think I'm going to take off too, honey.
All
There's
right.
something fading over here.
Yeah, I've noticed you have been very, very talkative there.
Say again?
Yeah, I've noticed you haven't been very talkative over there.
Yeah. So you be good. You have fun. Everybody in the audience, thank you so much for coming by. Really. And let me say, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.
Later.